The train headed for Sunset City will be departing soon.
Yeah,
What?
but I don't think there's anything wrong with being a mouth breather.
Where?
That's my hot take.
I would like a good 6 feet of distance apart from someone who is breathing through their mouth permanently. Just either that or they are obligated to have mints very regularly.
I was going to joke about the idea of like, hey, you know what? For the rest of the show, I'm just going to breathe in and out through my mouth. But I feel like that's going to not... I won't be able to keep that up.
Bothers Frank.
I think
it
that's
only
the
gets
thing
it
is-
because the noise suppression gets rid of it, so we don't even hear it.
Well,
All right,
I
noise
love
suppression
the
gets
idea.
turned off.
I love the idea that, like, he's gonna do it because he's evil, but then he doesn't want to do it because he's insecure.
No, because I know I won't commit to it.
Yeah, like me, insecure.
At
Like,
some point, I will forget.
oh, my wetness,
Forget
my
to breathe.
wetness.
I'll forget to Dwayne my reservoir.
I'll forget to Dwayne my reservoir, and now I'm all backed up.
Oh no, ew. And that's how Sonic Frontiers got leaked. They didn't Dwayne the reservoir.
It was a big bladder explosion in Izuka's pants.
Oh, I hate that a lot.
The ratings board
Rich.
just pissed all over it.
Sonic Frontiers was pissed into existence. It's
Is
not a
Sega- didn't you
shit
already
game.
Release this?
It's just a little stinky. Who wants to introduce?
It has been interesting to see what people have been speculating, because I did I put out I know we tend to promote ourselves like after the show or like near the end of it, but I put out a short and people were like, oh no, it needs to have these fixes and stuff. It's like, oh,
Real classy,
interesting
man.
to see what people want. Anyway,
Real classy,
go
dude.
ahead.
All right,
when introduce the show, go for it.
yeah, go on, Dylan. Introduce the show.
Did it last time I was here.
Yeah, that was like 10 years ago, man. Do the
Up.
intro.
Pup,
right,
introduce the
Sonic
okay, hold on.
the
I got
Hedgehog.
it. Hang on, I got it. Pup, introduce the show, but you're only allowed to breathe in and out through your mouth.
Oh man, I don't want to do that. I'm way too insecure for that.
What a good way
man.
to bring that back.
It's a good bit, so you have to do it.
Dylan, can you please overrule Frank?
He agreed with it. He thought it was.
But
liked
it's
it.
kind of funny that Frank said that. I kind of thought it was
Yeah,
funny.
and you can't take it back now that he said it. So
Please.
Now people are gonna want it.
Right, why don't we both do it?
But that's not what Frank said.
We're both going to do it as a compromise between what I want and what Frank wants. Okay, we ready?
Hello, everybody. I'm Garrulous64, and
And
welcome
I'm
back to
Channel
another
Dog
Sonic Mania
and-
Mod Monday.
No. This has
Maybe
gone
on
horribly.
Monday.
welcome to Saturday Night Live.
Welcome
On a Friday.
Live
You're
at Saturday
watching-
night.
Friday afternoon live.
Not only is it
Welcome to
Saturday, it's
Add-On.
not even Friday.
It is
It
Friday.
is Friday.
Yeah.
What
I
are you
know.
talking
That-
about? We stream
Gotta
on
get down
Fridays.
on Friday.
All right. Okay, fine. Shall we continue the intro, Dilnor?
Yes, this is Sunset City, the podcast for the classic and modern age.
Is what it is.
I'm Garrulous64,
How to use.
and with me I have Channel Pup, Channel Dog.
Hello and welcome.
We've got Gotta Be Frank.
Hello.
We have Ian Waffles, or as I like to call him, Ian.
Hey, it's me.
And if you super chat during the stream, we're gonna read it after the stream has concluded, but on the stream still, just so we don't mess up the pace of our madness, so to speak. I hope that's okay.
It's okay.
Well, they don't get a choice, so
Yeah, that's true. That is true. They don't get a choice. I hope that's fine.
Well,
And if
no,
it's not,
he's-
then
He's the town deacon. Like, we all have roles, remember?
true.
Ian the Deacon.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Thank you, Garrulous64, or
Congratulations.
as I like to call you, Dylan.
Thanks, man.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Frank,
man.
or as I like to call you, Frank.
Frank.
You call me an asshole, okay? You don't call me by my name.
No, I call you bitch. Get it
You
right?
call me a terrible. You call me a terrible.
Horrible.
Person.
I call you
evil. You call me
horrible.
horrible.
He did
That's
call
the
you evil
one.
a second ago. That did
Yeah, I
happen.
did not call
Yeah,
you
he did call me
terrible.
evil.
Yeah, but remember, this is peacetime. We respect each other now, Franken, yeah? It's been
You call
peacetime
peacetime
since,
after you call him evil.
since last week. So, you know, peace.
Okay. All right. No, fair enough.
Yeah. All right. Do you need me to read out the Baton Joys?
Yes, yeah. So if you join our Patreon or our channel memberships under the Bat Enjoyer tier, you will get shoutouts at the beginning of the streams. And those people that have done that are the people that Pup is going to talk about right now.
My great roles. Ven 101. Aiden Fitzgerald. Stardust Chaos. Crimson Rose. Mr. SP.
I
KB.
like how you're saying these names.
We got to really fix that dog, the channel dog AI.
Enunciation's all off.
Dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm putting enunciation in all the right places.
Just be breathing
Wait,
through
you've
its
never
mouth.
seen those? Like, you've never accidentally come across
The
those
AI
swap
is breathing
videos?
through its mouth.
No, I'm aware. That's not actually what I was even going for. I was going for more like a kind of a Matt Berry.
You sound like
kind
a
of deal.
Tomodachi Life me with the funny voice preset or something.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I have not played the demo for the Switch version yet, or Switch
It's
2
very
version.
funny.
All
Very
right.
silly.
Well, shall we talk about some Sonic stuff today?
Let's do it if we
Yes.
must.
All
I
right.
don't really feel like. Actually, yeah, I'm pretty done. I'm good.
So
for it.
If we must.
with discourse about current cinema being a bit stupid, we decided we would talk about some older movies that we are allowed to talk about honestly. So we are starting
Damn, I was
off
gonna lie my way through it.
with Sonic the Hedgehog from 2020. We're going to do the whole trilogy today, but we're gonna do them kind of quickly. But it's worth noting, with this new cast here, we've barely talked about the first and second Sonic movie. We're not doing Knuckles, because that's a show, and for fuck's sake, no. So-
I
We
can
already
only-
talked about
I-
that for 46
talk
weeks
about
in a row.
Basically every episode.
Oh
so.
God, we
it's
had a
the, it's
streak
the
of
reference
every.
point for shit Sonic content in the 2020s.
No, it really was. No,
Yeah,
it was
beautiful.
definitely warranted to be like, why did they do this? After
Okay,
they
we-
made such
we-
a good movie with the second one.
We've already started with Knuckles.
Yeah.
Avoid,
Okay, never
avoid.
mind. Knuckles, I don't even know who that is.
It's true.
We'll f-
But he was
we'll
really good in movie 3, but we'll get to it.
We'll find out in a movie's time. But, okay, first things first. Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie of 2020. Now, there's sometimes, like, some talk about whether this thing's aged or not, and, like, a lot of people are quick to say, dude, it's not that old, but, like, not only is it at the start of a decade of, like, 3 decades worth of paradigm shifts in the world and culture, it's also at the start of a decade where there were 10 different paradigm shifts with Sonic himself as well. So it's reflective of a very different time in Sonic history to where we're at now, and each film kind of feels like an indicator of where they're at. So this first movie has aged, like, a lot in that time, in a lot of different areas. At the same time, whether it's aged badly or not, that's going to depend. So just real quick, zip around the table, what do we think? Is it a good movie? Thumbs up, thumbs down? What the fuck?
I don't like returning to that one as much. I really haven't. Since, I mean, after it came out, I watched it a couple times because, you know, I would watch it with friends and stuff. Yeah, I know, Daisy, I know. But, like, I definitely don't revisit it and don't want to revisit it as much as the other two. It's just, I would probably only revisit it at this point if I was trying to show someone all 3 of them or 4 of them at a time.
Yeah.
It's only good for setting up. And then I don't find, like, it's got some heart to it, but I just, overall, I find it kind of generic road trip kids movie kind of thing in most cases.
Franken, what about you?
I don't think as highly of it as I used to, but I mean, like, if it's on, I'll watch it. But if not, then I won't really go out of my way unless I'm really feeling like just watching like all 3 of them, just kind of go back to back to back. But I it's fine. It's just movie including Sonic the Hedgehog instead
I'm
of just a
sensing-
proper Sonic movie.
I'm sensing a bit of a theme here, actually, and it's something I'm going to go into. But first, Ian, what about you? Just general kind of yay or nay?
Oh yeah. So this movie is as a movie, this is easily the best one. As structurally and in terms of what it's going for, it is like a 10 out of 10, 6 out of 10 film. Is kind of the best way I can describe it. because what it's shooting for is it just wants to be a very light and fluffy story about this. I'm not going to go too much detail, or we'll talk and stuff. But that wants to be this light and fluffy story about this kid who finds friendship and learns that he wants to stay here and encourages this other person and all that stuff. And then you have the contrast of Robotnik and how he is the opposite of everything that character values. And by the end, he grows into his own and saves the day and gets the family he wants. It is very tightly written. Every single thing about the movie like feeds into the themes and the ideas it's going for. Every single scene has like a meaning to it, like something it's going for or whatever. And it just is very tightly written about what it's going for. I just don't think what it's going for is that high. Like as far as like a Sonic thing, obviously it's like basically nothing like Sonic. And then as for its heart, it's a very simple heart. A lot of movies may even include that heart as a side thing. But for what it's going for, I think it fucking nails it. When I watched it recently, between Sonic 1 and 2, it easily stood out. It's just like, oh, they just kind of knew what they were doing. It's just a good movie. Like it's very solid. So that's my thoughts on it.
I would say
I really like the phrase, it's a 10 out of 10, 6 out of 10 movie. I completely understand what you mean by that. And I fully agree. Like I was thinking of it in terms of my own personal enjoyment of it, but as like I really agree with what Ian said. That's actually really, really spot on.
Well, there's something I wanted to kind of
the other two.
There's something I wanted to pick up on is I think just a common thread between I think Dilnor, Frank, and certainly my own. It's not one you've actually touched on yet, Ian. But for me, it's kind of like that rewatchability. I think the increasing quality of the Sonic movies can be a bit of a double-edged sword in that they do, I think, personally, consistently get better. I don't think that's something you agree with, Ian. But like for me personally...
I definitely disagree, but yeah.
For me personally, I think they've gotten better with each installment. That's a more, I guess, common opinion.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and I understand why.
I think the problem is each sequel renders the former one kind of redundant for me. I used to watch and rewatch Sonic 1 a fair bit.
Two's fun.
Around the time it was out. I every so often pop it on if I just wanted some light, fluffy family entertainment. And the same would go for 2 as well. But I have very little reason to go back to those 2 now that 3 is out. But, like, back to kind of Sonic 1, I think it's a better movie than it is a Sonic movie. And I think that is kind of where kind of, like...
Yeah.
I guess, you could say, like, maybe a later Sonic movie... or another Sonic movie could be like a 5 out of 10, 9 out of 10 movie. I'll take the 5 out of 10, 9 out of 10 movie over the 10 out of 10, 6 out of 10, if that makes sense.
So it's basically
fully agree,
like...
and I think... Sorry,
go ahead.
Frank. I had like a really quick thing to interject just because I actually discovered something in my brain just now, I think, about how I think about these things, if that's okay.
Oh, then go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, go for
I have just a quick thing. I was thinking about it, and I was like, I was really looking at it as like a Sonic movie when I went to go see Sonic 1, and I didn't really... It's not like a Sonic movie. Like, plenty of people have said this is a movie with Sonic in it. And then, like, the following ones kind of feel more like a Sonic movie.
And he's not even like Sonic.
I think the difference between... Yeah, like, that's the thing with me with Sonic 1. Like, if Sonic 1 was more of a Sonic movie rather than just Sonic being there and it being vaguely Sonic flavored... I think it would have been like if there was music in there, if there was whatever. I think it would be more like I think all the stuff you mentioned, Ian, would probably have hit better. It would have like stuck better for me because I would have also had what I was looking for from a Sonic movie. So that's why the other franchise movies that we're not talking about right now kind of hit better for me because it's a movie about the thing that I wanted to see.
Exactly,
rather than like, hey, this is Hollywood's interpretation of what I wanted, which is not what I wanted.
But I think
that's where my thing comes from.
There is something that separates the Sonic movie from a lot of other hybrid movies, though. Is that like... So the Sonic movie isn't massively like a Sonic movie in terms of the Sonic franchise, the world of Sonic, the characters of Sonic and stuff like that. As far as the Sonic franchise goes, it's not really a Sonic movie. However... a lot of these live-action movies are rarely actually about the character or invest as much stock into the character as this movie invests into Sonic. And, like, while obviously he's a different take on Sonic, it's his movie. Like, Sonic is what this movie is all about. It's about that character. And I actually really appreciate that. Because
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I really appreciate that because... you don't actually get a lot of stories that are just about Sonic himself in the main game universe that explore him to these kind of extents. And to me, nothing there feels contradictory to that confident Sonic. It just feels like he's growing into that and stuff. And for some, showcasing that these things aren't innate kind of kills it. Fair enough. But, like, in my case, I'm open to that interpretation, and it feels like a great beginning to that. But I think that is where the movie's strength is in the character of Sonic. He himself is well fleshed out. He fits really well into the universe that he's been put in. And,
I like him a lot. He's
his
the best part of the
rivalry...
movie, his
rivalry with Robotnik is very central to this. And I guess one reason to revisit this one would be for Jim Carrey's kind of early take on Dr. Robotnik, in that, like, it's quite different to how he'd later become. He'd later become much more comedic.
It's really funny that Eggman's thing, that actually is a good point too, because his development over the 3 movies is a reason I would go back to watch, actually, because he's very consistent. He's very consistently good at evolving throughout these 3 movies, if that makes sense.
He is a particularly good movie villain for, like, a family kind of action-adventure comedy. Like, he has been a constant throughout each 3, and he's been a scene stealer in each of them. But also, he's been given as much stake as Sonic has, in some areas even more. And, like, not only is it rare for these kind of live-action hybrid movies to invest as much into Sonic as they did, but the fact that they invested as much into Dr. Robotnik as they did, it is crazy to think, like, Sonic Prime was happening at a similar time to this film series, and that show did not get the appeal of Dr. Robotnik at all. But, like, these guys who largely were a little out of touch, as evidenced by that first trailer, managed to nail Dr. Robotnik down. That's really cool.
Yeah, can I gush about Robotnik real quick?
Please do.
Because he is absolutely he's the best part of the movie, but he is the best part because he elevates everything else as well. The best part about him is just simply the fact of his narrative role is that, just like Sonic, who is an outsider, he is this weird creature or whatever, but Sonic is still coded as a child, which is kind of the idea. He's this freak, he's this monster, he's not allowed to have family, but he is still a child, and he wants to have these connections, but he'll never get to have them. And they, with the baseball scene, which is very well done, it just actually really gets you in his headspace. Then you have Robotnik. Robotnik is treated as if he is above humanity. That is the whole idea. His name is Robotnik. He builds robots. He does not believe in the value of people. He thinks people are stupid and weak, and he thinks he is the best above them. He has a little henchman or whatever with Stone and using him and stuff, but he sort of, and that's kind of the fun part, is he sort of seems to like him, but sort of not, whatever. And this contrasts as well with Tom, who is just some random cop from a little small town, and all he does is just take care of ducks all day and take care of all his people. And the whole idea is that Robotnik looks down on this guy who's just a simple bumpkin. And so you have Sonic, who is this creature that is something he doesn't understand, but he does quickly figure out where he is, how to track him, and all these things. And over the course of the movie, he keeps getting bested. And that is something Robotnik can't take, because the whole idea is that he is above humanity. Now he's found this creature that is seemingly above him in the weirdness factor. But what actually makes Sonic really strong is that he actually has more humanity than Robotnik, because by the end, he basically seemingly kills Sonic or whatever. He's like, why do you give a shit about this thing? He's not real. He's not even from here. He's not from Earth. In the same way that Robotnik looks down on Earth and doesn't believe he should be from Earth, or, that he's above Earth or whatever. And they're like, no, he was my friend. He's a person. And then that gives him the strength to protect his town. And he literally gets Robotnik off the planet. So Robotnik is just so central to the themes of the story, the ideas of what Sonic is and how Sonic is this alien creature, but he's also more human than Robotnik, who has gotten rid of his humanity. And by the end of the movie, he's gotten more and more insane. He's using all these different cool, unique powers with Sonic's quill and how that works or whatever. So he is competent. He is, has all these things, but he doesn't have the heart. And so
there's
eventually
also,
that's what destroys him. It's great. It's wonderful.
There's also the theme of choice as well, because Robotnik chooses to be distant from humanity. That's what he wants, while Sonic wishes to be part of it. Like, he doesn't want to be outcast. He doesn't want to be above them. He wants to be among them. Among us.
It's like,
yeah, it's awesome.
You had
it's
to
so
do that.
good. It's so well done.
It's
Genuinely,
I know I had to.
You don't know what you have till it's gone, but Robotnik still doesn't care.
Go on.
Does not care what he has.
There's that line from Tom where, like, he tells Robotnik, like, believing Sonic's dead, because it's still kind of a cornball movie. Believing Sonic is dead, he's like, that little alien knew more about being human than you could ever know and stuff.
Yeah, no, they literally say it. Yeah.
And while they are literally saying it out loud, I think, for, like, the release that's the perfect way of wording it. Like, having him tell it to Robotnik, telling him how it is. And it's an earned moment as well, yeah. Like, Sonic's kind of isolation is also, like, given time to breathe. He doesn't just tell us, I'm lonely. He doesn't just sit on the roof of some place and go, oh, geez, I'm lonely, I don't know where I'm from, or some shit. He
Yeah.
we see him try
And they
to
don't
make the
become
most
best
of it.
friends instantly either.
Yeah.
Like he really has to kind of convince Tom that he's not just a weird creature thing that's gonna like leave as soon as like he kind of has to like worm his way into Tom's life and heart before he actually gets what he wants. So it's not like Robotnik, where Robotnik kind of wants That's actually hold on, I just realized that's a great parallel between Robotnik and Stone as well, because Robotnik doesn't want like Stone obviously cares about Robotnik in like a way more than a boss. Just cares about an employee, regardless, whatever. And it's kind of an interesting parallel between Sonic and Tom in the first movie, because Sonic wants to be friends really badly with Tom, or and he wants to be friends with anybody. He wants to have a family, whatever. And Stone probably really wants to be respected by Robotnik, but it's constantly like Robotnik only has Stone around because he like, I can hire this guy to basically do everything for me, and I can just treat him like he's just this like robot lackey, basically. It's a very good thing where Tom and Sonic are like, we're a team and we're friends and we have like a bond. To like Stone and Robotnik have a bond, but it's kind of like really one-sided for a bit. And
although was Stone's
it's very interesting to look at. Yeah.
Was Stone's bond with Robotnik ever really acknowledged in the first movie? I thought in the first one he was more a lackey.
Oh no,
it is
second.
Well, no, but
it's the part about lacking his
it's
lattes.
A lot.
Yeah,
I think it's a lot more like in the first movie. It seems a lot more like he's obviously he's like performing his duties above and beyond every single possible time he can. But he kind of gives the energy that he's like, here you go, boss. Did I do a good job? Like, I hope I did. Like,
sure, yeah. People pleaser kind
like,
of energy.
I want to be praised. Like, I mean, not just that, but like, oh, I want you to appreciate me and praise me or whatever.
Oh yeah, or just simple things of like, all right, Stone, pin yourself against the wall, and then he does it.
Literally be kind, or just have like a modicum of kindness, Doctor, please, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, someone who's a bit more of a sympathetic foil to him, which was also an interesting route to take, given that like the history of Robotnik lackeys, they are rarely sympathetic characters. They're usually just ditzes, with the exception of I think Deco and Boko. Who kind of had... This is pre-Sage, though. Deco and Boko, up until this point, were probably the smartest of Robotnik's henchmen. But, like, they're usually klutzes. But in this case, you've got kind of someone who's a bit more socially literate than Dr. Robotnik, a bit more well-adjusted, and generally kinder. And it worked really well. Like, even in this first movie, before they developed it, those two had really fun chemistry. And I won't lie... It's still kind of lame how it was like, this was the only Sonic movie we had for a while, and Dr. Robotnik does not look like Dr. Robotnik until the very end. And I think that's the thing, is that this movie did hinge on whether or not it would get a sequel. And there was a time when there was certainly no guarantee of that. Like, if that were just how this universe ended, and it were just a one and done, I think there's a lot of things that would feel a lot less satisfying about it.
Yeah, but I feel like you kind of have to
remember is that I am a Archie Sonic fan and I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan, so I do not give a crap about the source material. If it's good, it's good. That's my heart and soul of it. So
what did Frank have to say?
I think you do need to go for a gamble like that, like the possibility that we might not follow up, so we might not get something closer to what we see as like, as Dr. Eggman. You kind of have to gamble that one, and they did, and it worked out for them. And congrats.
In the long run, definitely. I think it is kind of cool that Robotnik does have a unique aesthetic each movie. But, like...
Yeah, because if you jump to it right away, then I don't know. I feel like you kind of jumped the gun with it.
Well, I remember the first time I saw the movie, though, just thinking, like, oh, man, you mean to tell me we don't get to see bald Robotnik and Sonic interact side by side? Oh, butts. Oh, dang it. Like, that was kind of my response to that.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing is... They were very restrained with that first movie. You got Sonic, you got Green Hill, and you got Dr. Robotnik, and you got Ring.
You got kidnapped for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, you got the absolute bare basics with this one, and I think they could have afforded to have gone a little further. Have Robotnik look a little bit more in line with Robotnik. At least give him a red outfit, I would say. That red flight suit he had at the end.
Worked.
The red flight suit, if he wore that for more of the movie and maybe wore like a jacket version of that for the casual stuff, I think that would have worked. I don't really mind if he has hair or not. Like, but by the time we reached the third act, I was like, that's a compromise Robotnik. Like, where he's got like the goggles and the red flight suit, but he's still got a head of hair and he's not fat. I was like,
I really did like that outfit though.
Yeah, I like that design.
I think it worked.
I was like, yeah, that's Robotnik enough, But I think when he was just wearing the black jacket, I was like, okay,
That was
this? Who's this guy?
Actually, it's funny you say that because when I saw that and just Robotnik in general in that movie, I really bought that, like, like maybe at some point when he wasn't old as shit, he could have actually looked like this. Like maybe he could have
Right,
had like
yeah.
a nice head of hair and just like actually looked like a menacing guy that looked like he knew what he was doing, but now he looks like a joke. But
It's funny that he's
I don't know,
bald
it's
by
like I buy
choice
it.
in these movies.
Well, yeah, after he comes back, he's bald by choice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite funny to me. But like,
Hey, he's representing the follically impaired.
he's representing the Lex Luthor fan club.
I don't know
Hell
about that
yeah.
one.
1A, 1A.
Woody, Woody, Buzz Lightyear be
yeah,
like.
What are you
Did anyone else have any major points? Because I did have 3 minor points I wanted to bring up real quick.
I think
I had ideas for like where I think they could have added a little extra Sonic-y stuff.
Yeah,
in
go
there.
for it. Go for it. Yeah.
I think it would have been cool if they established Tails as the apprentice of Longclaw, and that Sonic were protective of Tails, and that's why he seeked out Tom, because Sonic is just a kid himself. He doesn't feel equipped to look out for his little bro, basically. And, like, that's where Sonic's more insecure sides could come in, is that, like, he fears that Tails is going to feel the loneliness he does right now and stuff. It would make him a more selfless character that's more in line with, I think, the Sonic a lot of people would have liked to have seen, while you could still kind of do that coming-of-age thing. And it's just a bit more Sonic stuff in the Sonic movie. I just think Tails would have been a good addition here.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think even more about that, like if you were to, like even to not add Tails, just to keep it more vanilla to the original plot, even if he did just know Tails, and like maybe that's where maybe there could have been a scene of him going to try and find someone when all the bad stuff was happening, but he couldn't find him in time, so he had to leave. Then it would have been like 10 times better when Tails shows up and is like, I finally found him. Like it feels like
yeah, no,
wouldn't
definitely.
it would have been kind of like a. Then they could have kept him in movie 2. They could have still focused on Sonic. It would have been a tiny change.
Or maybe
I
if
think
like
that would have
Sonic,
been neat.
maybe if Sonic, like maybe like when he runs into Green Hills, he and Tails are separated, and he assumes that basically Tails is dead all these years, and then like
Longclaw.
yeah, kind of like Longclaw, he had the same thing. You could if it were a Mario movie, they'd have a scene where he sits on the edge of a cliff at the night sky, and it pans up, and you see a sprite of Tails in the clouds, just like the 8-bit movies. Oh shit! I broke the rule.
Well, I don't know who you're talking about, so it's fine. We're good.
Okay, sweet. Okay, all right, second chances here. All right, yeah, and I see Lekaon222 saying having Tails around would need to completely change the movie. Yeah, that's what I'm suggesting, is completely change it. But, like, again, bear in mind, this is all retroactive as well. Like, I'm not actually going up to Paramount's door and saying, hey, buddy, remake this, you know? Like, I just think that
Hey, what did you
looking
do?
back,
Put it back.
yeah. But okay, yeah. What were you gonna say, Ian? What were your
Yeah, I don't-
minor things?
Yeah, I just had little rapid fire ones that I just think are really cool. And again, it just shows the movie had like a lot of thought put into it. One, this is just one we take for granted, which is obviously Sonic can spin into a ball and do his little like, attacks or whatever. But again, the movie is just more about like the speedy little animal character coming into his own anyway. So a really smart job where you have the little chase scene in the car, and people are kind of just always like, why doesn't he just get out and just like fight the robot? But that is legitimately a part of the story, which is that Sonic does not know how to fight. And so part of the thing is that when he does get out at the last second and he destroys the tank or whatever, he's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And he like rolls into the ball. And, again, we all take for granted because he does like the little flossing or whatever. It's like, I have no idea. But like legitimately in the story, he does not know that he has all these kind of powers or how he uses powers. So by going on this road trip with Tom, he is coming into his own. And that is why by the end, whenever he hits Robotnik with all the attacks and he's using his power the way he does, that is him being more confident in himself, who he truly is, and using all those powers in unique ways, which is really cool. So that's really neat.
Because
Yeah, go
at
ahead,
that point, the most that he knows how to do is he just knows that he could run fast.
Yes.
At least that's what's been shown in the movie.
We also know that in these movies, his boost gauge is like fueled by him like watching sad movies and shit, because it's basically powered by emotion. Which now that's one thing I will say is quite un-Sonic, because Sonic is a very emotionally unavailable character in much of the source material and stuff, whereas in these movies he's an open book. But I think again, I think it's not something that is just inherent. I think like they've got the inherent parts of Sonic down, and I'm okay with them saying that like some of that more cocky, confident stuff is more of a persona that he kind of puts on. He kind of displays confidence more than he necessarily always feels it. I think that does add some nice dimension to the character. I do respect that it's different, but like I'm fine with that. Like as long as he's still, you know, a snarky little hedgehog guy that doesn't stand for just it. That doesn't stand for injustice.
He's going rogue.
And he's a little bit chaotic. Like, then I'm happy.
Yeah, you can make Sonic a dog and his name's Bob, and I would still watch it. I don't care. I don't care about source material. So, but yeah, with that, so that's really cool. Another one that I think is really, really smart and clever, which is the idea of, obviously we give him his Quicksilver abilities, and this is just something really cool about the character. But you know, if you don't want to think about it, you could just be like, well, whatever. Why does Sonic not do it every time? Who cares? But they actually do legitimately have the whole thing of the robots are, by the end of the movie, where he's powered by the quill or whatever. And so like that actually makes it really cool on Robotnik's part, that Robotnik is smart enough to make this ability to where he is able to keep up with Sonic, and that actually makes him feel threatening. It doesn't feel like, okay, well, the movie has to like nerf Sonic so that like anyone has a challenge against him. No, that's actually like a problem that Robotnik has to overcome, and then that is used against him. Really cool, because Sonic is able to use his power for himself.
There is one hilarious oversight in Robotnik's plan, but it doesn't really matter because the movie doesn't really think it matters, is the fact that if Robotnik's machine were to move as fast as Sonic in the city, he would have to be steering as fast as Sonic. Like, he would have to be fast too. But fuck it, cartoon logic, yeah, right? Like,
yeah, it's fine. Yeah, and then the final thing, go ahead. So I'm going to say something.
No, like, its tone has been silly enough up until this point to accommodate that kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely. And then finally, the thing I wanted to say is that the best joke in the movie, and it's also an amazing character beat, like genuinely, which is the part where Robotnik this whole time has been building up this idea of like, oh, there's this like freaky of nature out there, like Bigfoot or whatever. And I found it in like 5 seconds. And then we're going to go in there. We're going to get him. We're going to take him out. And I'm just going to be awesome because I'm Robotnik and everything's below me and I'm great. And then he sees Sonic and he goes, oh my gosh. And he like freaks out. Like it actually it terrifies him. And then Tom is able to beat him. That is genuinely, one, it's hilarious because Jim Carrey's performance is hilarious. Because he's like, I'm gonna kill Tom or whatever, and then it's like, if you don't come out, he's like, oh, you know, please stop. Oh my god, you know, he screams or whatever. But it's a like, genuinely great character moment because it defeats Robotnik. He's not able to take it. He thinks it's weird. Like he actually is overwhelmed by Sonic. Just seeing him, it actually did make him human for a sec. And he's like, oh god, what is this thing?
There's also how they establish him kind of with like the government talking about him and talking about all his successful conquests and stuff. And they even comment on this a bit in the Knuckles series, which we're not talking about, but like there's that line where it's like, oh, he was driven mad by like a little blue devil and stuff like that. I'm like, that's actually quite a cool, like the idea that Robotnik found the one person he can't beat and it drove him fucking nuts. Like,
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's great. And the idea that he was a genuinely brilliant person. But the fact is, even if Sonic hadn't arrived, he still would have doomed himself because he's utterly socially inept. Like,
oh yeah, because he has no humanity.
Yeah, so. I think I think that's really cool. Now, one thing I did want to throw out there though is like, while there is some good humor in this movie, god fucking damn, they need like a quality control agent on some of these jokes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's a lot of
about the fart joke.
Well, there's the fart, but like a lot of this, and this does bleed into other movies. Admittedly, it's done better here. Is Sonic talking in film references so often? You know, it's because in this movie, he's basically been raised by movies on Earth. As far as he's concerned, movies are Earth culture, and that's great. But that just gives them an excuse to have him be like, I feel just like Vin Diesel. With great power comes power-hungry bad guys. She was like Obi-Wan Kenobi if Obi-Wan Kenobi ate mice. Oh, yeah. It's like, I sure do like other movies. Thank you, Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic the ones that are actually good are like Pop Quiz, Pop Quiz Hot Shot, because we have actually context of it is like he's watching a movie and it makes him he's like trying to have like a fun like banter, but obviously they don't hear him. And so then when he's like, I think later he says like, oh, Pop Quiz Hot Shot, like it actually feels like kind of sad and pathetic.
Yeah, that like instance. Yeah, that instance I think is actually quite good.
On his own, yeah.
Although you do know that the whole reason there's the whole, oh, Keanu, you're a national treasure, was because that whole meme that Keanu Reeves is so nice. Like,
yeah.
And there was like, yeah, it was that kind of stuff. there's a lot of that humor where it's very much pandering to like the internet. And this is something that will kind of dip and rise in terms of being a problem. But when it comes to the comedy, Robotnik is the strong point. Sonic is a consistent weak link in the comedy in these movies. There is no quality control for these fucking jokes.
I do have a
actually
question.
The least bad in the first one. I think he's the most endearing there as far as his comedy, I would say.
Yes. I do have a question, but it's more of like a hypothetical kind of thing. How do you think Sonic first reacted to seeing I'm forgetting the name of the actor who got his head taken off in Speed?
I
I wonder how he reacted to that scene.
He probably just doesn't think about it.
Thinking about the
you
things
think
that
Tom
Sonic
and
has
Betty
probably...
ever watched Old Yeller in front of Sonic, and he's like, "Oh, I love you, Old Yeller," and then by the end he's crying and screaming and running away.
Or what about when Tom and
Why would
Maddie
they
are...
do that? Why would
What
they
about-
do that to him?
Well, we know that Sonic watches these guys through a window and stuff, like, regularly. He's like, this is an act that I like to call sex. It's when two humans get together and decide they want to basically... I don't know what this is, but
Look,
they're doing
it's like
it.
The Toy
Sonic
Story
Sonic
not
practices
knowing that Andy
abstinence.
masturbates. You know, just don't think about it.
I don't think I'm ever going to do this.
That must look really painful.
Oh,
That looks
gee,
really
that is really
He's like, I'm
gross.
sure glad sex isn't real. I'm sure glad. That'd be weird.
Okay,
That'd be fucked up.
Whoa, the donut lord. You put donuts on the end of that thing? Jeez.
No.
What the fuck is
There are things I could say, but I will not.
that? Sorry, Podbean.
I got a lot more than that, daddy. But okay, right.
But yeah, I
Moving
mean, that's all I have for Sonic Movie 1.
The soundtrack also kind of sucks butts. They start with a little bit of teasing. They tease you a little because they got hyper
And
potion.
real quick, Ultra Beast got it right. Dennis Hopper, that's who it was. My bad.
Who was the first Bowser? But the first live action, the only live action Bowser, to my
he
knowledge.
created
Is there a live action Mario movie I'm not aware of? I've only seen one.
Who's that?
I said, is there a live action Mario movie I'm not aware of? I've only ever seen one.
A live action what movie? What are you talking about? There's no such thing
some like plumber from New York named Mario. It's this whole thing. It's not very good.
Garbage. All right. Well, okay. Yeah, the soundtrack really does tickle your dick at first with like the Green Hill motif and all that as well.
Which they like threw in as a Hail Mary at the last minute.
Yeah, and then like the rest of the movie's just like, I don't know. And then it goes along, and then Speed Me Up plays, and oh, guys, like the musical equivalent of water.
And again, I've given the movie a
said
ton of
everything I
praise,
needed.
but again, I want to be clear. Like when I say like, oh, all this stuff is like really, really good. Again, it is really good for what it's going for because you can like mentally track like, oh, like they made this decision for this reason, and Jim Carrey's really funny. Like Jim Carrey is the thing that does stand out. Like that is just unironically great. Not that the rest of it's ironic or anything, but like he's the part that you would want to come back because he genuinely does carry the movie on his back. But Sonic is endearing, but he's not like my favorite endearing little, rascal character. Or it's like, oh, the comedy is like, it can sometimes be funny, but sometimes it's really lame. Or like the music, literally never going to think about it except for when they use Green Hill because that's actually a good melody. And then, the climax, it's like, oh yeah, like that works. That's actually really satisfying. But I'm not like weeping or anything that Sonic has a friend. But like when he gives him the high five, I'm like, oh, that's nice. That's kind of that to me. That is the equivalent of what this movie is. It's that's nice, but not even in like a placating way. Genuinely. Oh, that's nice. It's a nice movie.
Well, something that's very funny to me is when you really think about it, when you really, really think about it, the final battle of the first Sonic movie is equivalent to the first boss fight of the 8-bit version of Sonic 1. The Eggmobile with no attachment to it whatsoever. And
it's cute.
Now, the thing is as well, like, one thing that did disappoint me was the lack of exotic locations and stuff. It's a Sonic movie where he spends a majority of the movie in the passenger seat of a car on an old dirt road. And I'm going to say this right now. This movie looks like shit for a good chunk of it. It's a very bland movie to look at. Like, San Francisco is a gorgeous city. Like, especially when you look at like the neighborhoods and all the colorful houses and stuff. Yet they managed to make it look aggressively boring in this movie.
Oh yeah, and gray.
But the thing is, technically, this movie did factor in some environments from the game on some technicalities. You've got the Great Wall of China, so you've got Shannon. You got Paris, so you've got Spagonia, technically, kinda. You've got the pyramids, so you've got a choice of Sandopolis or some other shit that had the pyramids in it in Sonic. Pyramid Cave, why not? Like, there's a lot of technicalities it can get away with, but it's just unfortunate that the globe-trotting portion of this is entirely the third act of the movie. rather than
For
being more of it. Because they marketed that quite heavily in trailers and stuff. There's that poster where he's pointing at Paris through a ring, so it's like, oh, it's going to be a globetrotting adventure. Like, nope.
You just run past it.
Just Montana. All right. You know, like, yeah. So that was a bit disappointing. But
Yeah,
I was happy to see Tails in the post-credits, looking a little fatter than he'd go on to look later.
Boo. He looked cuter before, but yeah.
Fat shaming.
But yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Sonic movie 1. Good movie. Not the greatest thing in the world, but genuinely cute, and I remember it fondly, so I like it.
Better as a movie than it is as a Sonic, in my opinion. Still
Yes,
pretty good.
absolutely.
It's like, if they made another one like this, though, I wouldn't be too pleased about it, because I just feel like,
No,
we should
we've
go
already
all
done
in
it.
on the Sonic stuff now. Like,
And I guess the best thing I can say is I understand why so many people got into Sonic through this movie, because I think if you are just some kid and you see Sonic, they do such a good job of making him feel very kid-coded. Despite his voice or anything like that. Obviously, that's normal in cartoons; they do that. But just like I think I totally understand how someone could grow up with this Sonic and get to Sonic 3 and genuinely feel like, man, I want to rewatch all the Sonic movies and see how far my hero has come. Because he's genuinely very endearing. They put in the work. Like, this movie really puts in the work to tell its story, even if I don't think it's anything spectacular. It's cute. It's very cute. So
It
So the
works as a
question
good
is-
general audience movie. To kind of
absolutely.
ease people into it.
yeah,
the
and not
question
in like
is-
a vapid way of like, oh, like your grandma will watch it and not think about it. It's like, no, I genuinely see why someone could connect to this character and deeply care about them.
I want to give this a through line. I want to give this a consistent through line for each movie. So, the question is, better or worse than the first SpongeBob SquarePants movie?
That one's definitely better.
Wait,
SpongeBob's definitely better.
Yeah,
That is
I'd-
an extremely high bar to pass, man.
yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
not-
I'm
not
just
even-
doing
not
it.
even close.
Yeah, but
I
it's
don't
a
know where
mass
this question comes
market.
from.
It's another mass market, just a kids movie about an IP from a television thing. Like,
Yeah, but Sonic
but it's
feels a little
cartoon,
more
which
niche
makes
than
it infinitely
SpongeBob.
better to me.
Look,
Well,
I
none of the Sonic
was
movies beat
thinking,
the SpongeBob movie.
I was thinking of like the Mr. Sunday movies thing of like, best movie ever or worst movie ever. So I was like, okay, what about does it clear the first SpongeBob movie? But I guess
No, not even close. The first
on
SpongeBob movie
autopilot,
was
I
better.
don't think any of these actually do.
No, not at all.
All right, we'll try and think of a new through line later.
Need a lower bar.
The
Yeah. Lower bar, please.
the latest SpongeBob movie?
Never seen it.
Never seen it.
Damn it!
If
I
only
like
Sonic
the
had, like, a
latest
rival we
SpongeBob
could
movie
compare
more
to,
than
like
that
what he
Sonic
does,
one.
so.
All right, okay. Is it better than a Klondike bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it lasts longer.
All
Get Jim
right.
Carrey longer.
All right. Okay. Cool. So Sonic 2 now. Sonic 2 time. So I guess round table. Just
Dilnor.
quick thoughts. Dilnor. Yeah. What are you thinking?
Oh, he's muted.
For
Oh, he's back.
fuck's
Hold on
sake.
1 second. Sorry.
Okay. Shall we start off with you instead, Ian, and just move on to Dylan
Sure.
next?
Yeah, sure. This movie blows. This movie's really bad. This movie, rewatching it was torture. Unironically, I had to stop like twice to finish it. I really don't like this movie, but we'll get into it. So go ahead.
All right, Dilnor, you're up next.
I liked it as like a Sonic. Excuse me, sorry. I liked it more as a Sonic movie than the first one. But other than that, it is kind of all over the place. Like I do remember being like, wow, they kind of just it's kind of it's almost, it's not like the Galaxy movie, the unnamed Galaxy movie. It's kind of like it's got similar pacing though, where they just kind of go into each thing like, oh, the scene happens now it happens, go, and like sometimes things tend to, it feels like they happen just because the movie deems that they need to happen. Like some of the human scenes that could very easily just not have been there. They don't add a whole lot. It's still fun. I had fun watching it, and it was stepping closer to where I wanted a Sonic movie to be. But yeah, no, upon re-examination, definitely. I think the first one is
Would you say
structured
that
better,
we don't have to
sure.
go into the third movie, but you kind of mentioned like each one kind of eclipses the last? Would you say like 3 kind of definitely like, it's like, well, I like Knuckles, but Knuckles is really good in 3, so I don't need this movie anymore? Or Tails, that kind of
No,
thing.
I still like 2. I was saying, well, Pup was mentioning that they eclipse, and he kind of
Oh, that was
doesn't
pop.
need them
Sorry,
or
my bad,
whatever.
my
Like,
bad.
yeah, no, I'm a little bit different. Like, when I got the second movie, I was like, okay, this is where I would probably start watching if I were to rewatching them because I already remember the first movie. I get everything about it. I would much rather watch this one because it's more fun to watch. Uh, but I do have fun watching it, like for a majority of it. I think it's a fun movie. I like the jokes for most of it. I like the little beats that happen. Jim Carrey's awesome in this movie. I think he's really funny. But I yeah, you know, I would prefer to watch this one over the first. But I think you're right about the first one being like a better structured movie for sure.
I
Okay.
think this
Right.
second one is interesting for me because the first movie I think is a pretty decent, solid 7 out of 10 movie with no major issues. It's just, it just never reaches that high. With this second one, I can point to some clear issues with this, particularly the transition from the second to the third act. The transition from the second to the third act is fucking terrible, and nobody is going to persuade me otherwise. But the rest of the movie, I think, is just on such a higher level than that first one that, it's not so much that I'm overlooking it, but I like the rest of it much better than anything from the first, personally. And it is largely because we are seeing the world transform much more into the Sonic world now. There are some stupider moments here and there. Definite, issues. But, as far as, delivering on what I want to see and still bringing it home with some really strong themes as well. And that's the thing that separates this from other video game, or a couple of other video game movies, is the fact that it still does have the substance there to back up its more fan-servicey elements. So I would still say this one's a big thumbs up. I like this more than the first one by quite a long shot. Rankin?
All right, Frank.
I'm kind of mixed on this one. As much as I did enjoy a lot of the more Sonic parts of it more. I cannot sit through the whole movie. I have to skip through the whole wedding part because it was I don't care about this at all. I never cared about these one of the characters, and the other one I don't care about as well. A lot of the human stuff is I could skip all of this and it'd be much more enjoyable.
The humans were a problem in this movie. Because I think, okay, they did the right thing in separating Sonic from the humans. That was the right move. Have Sonic on an adventure with Tails as they brave the elements and stuff. Perfect next move. That's what I wanted. The problem is you now end up with, oh shit, what do we do with the humans? It's you're gradually turning this into a more animated movie than the first, but you've still kind of got to acknowledge those humans, because if they just disappear altogether, you're losing something. You're losing a lot of the catharsis from that first movie.
Tom and Maddie died on their way home to their home planet.
I think
Put it on text screen.
Again.
I think the best they could have done would have been to have Tom and Maddie's little Hawaiian vacation take place largely off screen. When it's cutting back to it before it actually gets to the devoted wedding scene, though, I think it's okay there, because it's in small enough doses. But it's also interspersed with the Sonic stuff. But before the third act, there is that whole 10 minutes where not a single Sonic character is showing up, and it's just I don't really know who this is actually there for. And I know there are people that defend that scene, but I don't understand them. I don't think it works on any level. The logic of the scene doesn't work. The reason Gunn is there for the wedding doesn't make any sense. Why they would do it that method. Yes, there are funny moments along the way, such as the priest opening the
Gunn
Bible.
just really wants to fuck
Yeah,
with
the
them,
2
that's
seconds
all.
of the gun in the Bible does not justify the other 10 minutes.
Thank you. Yeah, literally.
That's probably my favorite non-Sonic bit in the whole movie, because that was just
Oh, it's
genuinely
hysterical. Yeah.
unexpected.
I think another comedy beat that I absolutely love is when Sonic and Tails enter the cabin for the first time, and they're looking around, and everyone's looking a bit threatening, and there's that lady that's doing the knitting, but then she holds it up, and there's the skull on it, and then this guy chops a fish's head off, and the fish's head goes, run.
Run.
That
Yes,
is...
more of that,
Run.
please.
That's
oh
a...
my God. Wait, the guy with the tattoo? Oh
yeah,
my
and he's
God,
got a
that actually
tattoo
made
of
me piss my
himself on his chest, and he's...
So I don't know who said that in the writer's room, but that's literally the dumbass, stupid thought you have at the last second. Wait, what if the guy had a tattoo of himself doing the same pose when he did that? And then everyone went,
It's
Yeah.
great. Yeah,
I
Yeah,
do
we're gonna do
wonder. I do wonder if that's
Like,
very
that's
much kind of
awesome.
like Jeff Fowler's influence, because like when you look at like Jeff Fowler's episode of Knuckles as
It's
well,
just so fucking funny. I don't know
like
why.
with the talking business card and stuff, he does like that kind of surreal, kind of Hillenburg-esque humor. So I wonder if we
It
were seeing a
fits.
bit more of that here.
Run.
Yeah, it fits. It fits far more, and that's I think what the energy they should have thrown more into the human section, because they try to do it. For example, like with Tom and Maddie, where they're doing volleyball, and then it like cuts to the boys, and they're like, "I wish Sonic had a gang like that." And they're like pouring champagne all over their bodies and like doing like push-ups or whatever. And again, that's like a funny idea, but that like the section needed more of that energy. It feels like it's just not like, and again, obviously absurd things happen by the end, like in that wedding section, but it just doesn't feel like it's going absurd enough, and it's not being quick enough either, because it's just a like if it was cutting back and forth between Sonic and Tom in their little prison cell, where they don't get a scene together, where they don't get to talk about anything, which is a big missed opportunity, then I think that would have fit more if it was like Tom and Sonic are talking, and it's like, oh man, I hope the girls are okay, and then like, you know, some guy dies because he gets thrown into the atmosphere by Sonic's or Tails' Limo, you know, that would have paced it out better, I think.
The thing
So.
that angers me almost as much as the wedding scene in this movie is the scene where Sonic and Tom are texting, and Sonic's texting him from the cabin, because it's another example of filmmakers don't fucking know how phones work, do they? Sonic sends a text, it shows up on the other end on Robotnik's on the sender's side of it. So on Robotnik's side, then gets another text that goes to the other side. Like, come on, dude. Like, we know how phones work. This is not how phones work.
I've actually never used one.
But like, yeah, I was just like, come on, this is easy shit. This is amateur, man. But I will say, like, the thing that made me really appreciate this movie was that it is much more of Sonic doing Sonic's thing divorced from humans. I will say, I think the whole like house party by himself thing goes on a little bit for what it is, and it's a little bit gaga, and some of the comedy in the van rescue is a little bit gaga. Like, there is a bit of a gaga comedy problem in this one compared to the first one. It's a little bit more gaga. But like, Tails is here. And I really do like that this time Sonic is taking care of someone else. He's taking responsibility for someone else. And there is that kind of, you have to take responsibility for others speech that Tom gives him. And Tails slots in thematically perfectly with that, I think. What were you going to say, Dylan?
I have a thing I just made up that I think could be relevant. But that's the fun thing about, you know, analysis and thinking about this stuff. Because as long as you have reasons for it, it can be somewhat valid. So the thing I was just thinking of was in the first movie, Sonic is, you know, he starts alone, horribly alone, and really upset, and he just becomes this little like film goblin about like media. He loves all this shit, and he's, you know, he just becomes a little social media butterfly basically. And when he becomes part of the household, he becomes part of Tom and Maddie's family. He gets accepted. Like the person he was hiding, he had to hide himself for all that time. The person he had been hiding is accepted. And I almost think the increase in joking and stuff like that could almost be like him sort of being more solidified in his own personality, so to speak. Like he's
more
kind of being
outgoing,
like,
basically.
he's kind of like, he's not afraid to express himself the way he kind of just wants to anymore, because
I
he
think,
was
yeah.
accepted instead of rejected. And like,
But they-
obviously it's just, that's the thing I can read between the lines or whatever, but
They
also just probably wanted to add more silly jokes.
They did lean
But I
much
was
more
just thinking about that.
into Sonic as being kid-coded in this one. Like, from the fishing trip with
Yeah.
Tom to kind of the more parental relationship with Tom to also just that little house party he throws for himself is much more kind of juvenile and childish. I think we could have
it's like,
littered
what
it
would
with
you do if
some...
your parents were gone? Oh, I would throw a party, yeah.
Yeah, and I do enjoy actually seeing him getting, like, prepped for it and stuff. But I would have had a joke in there where he discovers Cinemax. Like, and he screams. He's like, what is this? Like, that would have been fun. Like, you don't see what he's watching. You just hear, like, I've been a bad girl. He's like, and he throws the remote at the screen.
Not sex.
I didn't see her do anything bad. What's she talking about?
That would be so funny. I didn't see anything bad happen. That would be really funny.
That would be an amazing.
These writers
joke
are
to
just
include.
leaving these things off screen. It's not really that satisfying. And he changes the channel.
Yeah. That's really fucking funny, yeah. Yeah, like I guess like that is just it a kids movie being a kids movie, but this one definitely felt like it was skewing a little younger in parts than the first.
Oh yeah, I think so. Too.
In the way
can
like
I go
Sonic
over my
Prime
positives?
skews. Yeah, go for your positives.
Yeah, because I hate this movie, so I want to go over the positives thing first while we're being positive. Okay, Knuckles, because we haven't talked about him all, is great. No notes. Knuckles is so good in this movie. Everything about his comedy, everything tied into his relationship with Sonic and how he basically, he can't understand these very simple concepts of like Robotnik taking advantage of him or whatever because he believes in duty and honor. And the moment where he looks at Robotnik and he says but you were my friend. Like it genuinely does hit you because like that is kind of how every time we cut to Knuckles and him being very sincere and stuff, it works really well.
But it gets better.
It's a lot better than the games.
No,
that
line though
could have had much more storytelling, but like that was a really good way to be like, oh, that's why he got tricked. He really just believed that he was found a companion.
There's something I really have to say about that line is the fact that he says, "You are my friend," because he's in complete disbelief at what's happening. He cannot comprehend someone violating an honor code like that. So he's more confused than anything else in that scene. He's not hurt saying, "But you were my friend." He's saying, you are my friend. He's like, what is going on here? What is this? Like, he doesn't get it. And Knuckles is kind of shaking in this scene. Like, his clearly his whole worldview is shaken in that scene. It's palpable. Yeah, and then that's a really
when
strong.
Sonic saves them, and he's like, why did you save me? Like, what's your tactical thing here? But he's like throwing a little snowball of sand, and it's kind of like his kid side of Knuckles' kid side coming out of like, he's like, I don't really know how to react to this. Fuck you, sand. And then Sonic and him continue to have the conversation. Which, by the way, as far as I know, I think from the commentary, that was another Tyson Hess idea. Which is that originally they were supposed to talk, and then he was like, what if they threw sand at each other? Which makes it way more playful and like really like grounds Knuckles as like he's a lost kid just like Sonic. And that really brings it together in like a really satisfying way. So I love everything about that.
Sonic being the first person to throw the sand, and then Knuckles like, how dare you attack me in my hour of sorrow? And I love how he goes from 0 to 100. It's brilliant. And like all that stuff, like Sonic and Knuckles, their dichotomy in this movie is absolutely brilliant. I love the fact that they're both carrying the weight of like generational grief and stuff like that, and how they are two people that were born effectively ideologically opposed to each other, and how they don't need some revelation where it turns out, oh, our mothers and fathers were wrong. There's never a point where he's like, oh, Longclaw was a monster, and Knuckles like, oh, the Echidna guys were. Yeah, it's just, hey, we have a choice now. We're the last of our kind, and we're going to make peace. And they choose that based on just respect for one another rather than like any kind of ideological discoveries. I love that. I think that is absolutely brilliant.
And Knuckles' naivety, or however you say, naivete, comes from the fact that we see that he was alone as a child, like Sonic 2. So it's not just like, oh, because like it makes sense in the game that he's kind of gullible, that's just going to be his character. No, it is actually based in the tragedy that they both share, that Knuckles is a bit like stunted in terms of how he knows how to interact with people because he's just kind of been alone all his life too. So, but whereas, Sonic was more energetic and kind of more willing to like engage with those things or whatever, Knuckles has just kind of been on this like revenge quest more or less because he thinks that's what he has to do for honor and for value. And so like even the fact that he does trust Robotnik so easily also again feels very sad because it's like the idea of like, well, he wants to like somebody, he wants to have a friend, So yeah, all that, but also the fact that he is still willing to be like called Robotnik out when he does do things where he's like, that's dishonorable, that also shows that again, like he still has his own sense of morality and duty, and he will speak up and all these things.
And how,
so yeah, Knuckles is just great. So
Knuckles kind of pulls up the whole "this is how I roll" thing back against Robotnik when he enters the final battle against him, and when Knuckles cracks his knuckles there. I don't know what fucking sound effect they use, but it sounds like he's got a million tiny knuckles all cracking at once. Like, what is up with that? Funny. Like, it sounds like it's like a whole. Wrong. It sounds like he's got like 2 bags of potato chips and just crunched them. It's like, what the hell? How many knuckles does he have? I don't know if that's a deliberate thing or if they just had funny fucking sound effects. But like, I found that really funny, and sometimes I like to listen to it in slow motion to detect how many knuckles are cracking.
The amount of knuckles he has in his knuckles.
How high is the count?
Yeah, like how many cracks do we hear in that? He must have mad synovial fluid, but like
I don't know how if you've done this before, Pup, have you actually kept track of how many you heard? What was the highest number you heard? Do you remember?
I think I only really tracked about 5, but like, which is nothing extraordinary. But they were very high pitched and crunchy. But like, yeah,
Actually,
like
how many fingers do they have in this franchise? Does Sonic have 5 fingers?
yeah, Sonic has 5 fingers. Knuckles, he has 5 presumably under there. And that's
If
about
Sonic
it.
has 5, I imagine they all have 5. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
you never know. Knuckles could have lost fingers in war and stuff, and that's why he wears the mitts.
You know that. Maybe
Well,
the
then wouldn't
flames
that
of
be-
disaster
wouldn't that be noticeable if he
chewed
moves
off
his
a few
hand?
hands.
Nah,
Like, wouldn't
because
that be
he's just
noticeable? Like,
magic gloves.
That's true. He does
Oh,
have magic
magic.
gloves from his dad.
They're magical.
Okay,
Yeah.
very cool magic.
What else
like,
did I
yeah,
really?
magic is cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah, go
like
for
the
it.
fact that we got kind of back to Dr. Robotnik being a bit more Dr. Robotnik-y in this one. Like, he's got the bald head the whole way through. His outfit looked sick. I loved the new design of the Eggmobile and the Buzz Bombers and
I think it's
stuff
the
like
best it
that.
looks.
Bringing,
Yeah.
I think I gotta
bringing,
give kudos to Agent Stone. Was awesome in this movie as well,
he was.
Yes,
Um,
he's really fun.
just for fun.
and
Like
you know
he doesn't
what?
have a ton going on, but like every scene he's in, he's always really good.
And you know what? There are a couple of Wade moments that were okay in this movie as well. Like, I knew a guy called Knuckles who could fit his fist in his mouth was actually really funny.
Is that your
And-
dad, or is that
Yeah,
your
is that your
Or-
dad?
Is that
Like,
your dad?
to Tails after seeing Longclaw.
I feel
Those
like
bits
he's
are funny.
not paying attention even a slight bit. It's so funny.
But then there's like bits like, oh, like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. It's like, okay, yep,
Yeah, no,
movie
that's
reference.
stupid.
Okay, more of that.
No.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, I think it has such a clunky transition into its third act, but there's so much in this movie that I like a million times better than the first. The snowboarding down the ice cap and investigating the temples, with the exception of just like Vin Diesel and The Rock that can fuck itself. The
oh,
animated
look, the Winter
backstory.
Soldier.
Oh, great, the
great,
Winter Soldier.
Oh, great.
The backstory
Yeah,
of the echidnas and the owls being like animated in that style was awesome. The whole running around the labyrinth zone and the fact we actually got like a practical set of labyrinth zone was absolutely
That was awesome.
The fights are cool too. Like the actual
Yeah.
fight between Sonic and Knuckles, both of them are genuinely like
That was-
like they're genuinely like really visually engaging, and like the use of colors is really enjoyable.
The fight, I think one thing that we could probably all agree on is that the action beats in this movie are probably stronger than the first, right? Like,
Oh yeah. Well, and they
absolutely.
have a lot of a story told through them too. Like the way in which Knuckles defeats Sonic of just like standing there like a wall, like really sets up how strong he is. It's great.
yeah. No, see, I loved all that. I think the comedy's the weakest element of this film, along with the humans. As for just, I know we're going very backwards and forwards here, but I thought the cabin dance bit. So I understand why people don't enjoy this very much, but it was kind of a natural conclusion to the cabin scene, which I otherwise loved. Seeing Sonic and Tails looking like Stan and Kyle from South Park as they enter this lodge, and how they order the most disgusting foods, and they're in like just hostile territory, almost getting
The
chucked
final
into
scene
the
is great,
fire.
too.
And yeah, the bit
Yeah.
where like, yeah, Sonic, wraps a blanket around Tails, and then his little Tails spring out and blanket Sonic. I thought that was absolutely adorable.
No,
like
That's
so
peak
sincere.
Tails in the movie.
Yeah, it's
but peak
super
Tails,
sincere.
They'll never do anything ever again in the movie. So
Well,
the movie's
I
bad.
disagree.
But
I said myself that I think Tails slots in with the theme of responsibility for Sonic. Like throughout the movie, his whole thing is like, "Oh, I'm a radical guy doing radical things, living for the moment and shit." And then like Tom is like, "Hey, dude, you threw a bomb into a sewer and probably murdered some plumbers. Great." And then like naturally like Tails comes into it. He's taken out by Robotnik, and Sonic feels really shitty about it. Like, I thought that all worked really well. It's Sonic becoming an older brother to someone. And I would still also ask this. Would the movie be better if Tails were out of it? Because I think Tails only makes the movie better.
Oh no, yeah. Well, if everyone's said their piece, I'll rant about it. But if you guys have more things to talk about, go for it. Because
By all
I will
means,
talk
if
about
you,
Tails.
yeah, if you want to talk about Tails.
Frank,
Yeah,
you
because
gotta-
I think the movie needed more Tails.
I mean, I'm not against more Tails. I'm yeah. Woo,
Yeah. So
Tails.
here's the thing with this movie, which is that we'll go over Tails first. So first of all, I agree with you that the premise of what you're talking about with Tails is there. Unfortunately, they do a really, really bad job of it, because when Sonic invites Tails to join him on his little trip, the thing they set up is that Sonic's cocky. Is it like the idea that he's getting in over his head? He thinks he's a hero, and Tom is like, "You're not a hero," and he's like, "Fuck you, Tom. I am a hero. I'm awesome. I'm Blue Lightning or whatever." And
Fuck
Tails
you,
comes
Tom.
in. Yeah, and and Tails comes in, and when he invites him on the adventure, he's being very genuine about it. Where he's like, "Well, I can't go with you." He's like, "Oh, dude, don't worry. Like, you helped me this far. I'm gonna take care of you. It's gonna be fine." So he's actually being like genuinely responsible about allowing him in. Obviously, you shouldn't bring him along. That's the dangerous part. That's what they bring back later. But Sonic's character, like the motivation for why he does this, is deleted, which is that his arrogance, his cockiness, the fact that he believes he's a hero. No, he's like, if you're going to come along, I'm going to take care of you. It's going to be okay. And I'm going to watch over you. So there's never a moment where Sonic is like leaning into that cockiness of like, yeah, actually, Tails, I am a hero. And, see, Tom, like, look, there's someone who actually believes in me. And like having that as like the motivation for why he has Tails along is that Tails, oh, you're my little sidekick,
You're actually right.
Buddy.
And there's another thing that makes this worse is that Tails calls himself out. Like Sonic tells him not to attack Knuckles. And then he does.
He's
and
being
then
very responsible. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what they do is they do a tepid version of this arc, which is that, sure, Tails got hurt. And again, Sonic should not have invited him. But the actual dramatic narrative weight of that is not in the movie because it's, as far as we can see, Sonic is actually being very, very careful. He is really trying to look out for this kid. So him getting in trouble and getting hurt, it doesn't feel like a failing on Sonic's part. So when he leaves, it's just like, yeah, I mean, that generally makes sense, Sonic. Like, I do think that's a good idea. You should probably go. So whenever Tails shows up at the end, there is no ending to that storyline because there is no storyline. It's not that Sonic goes, hey, Tails, buddy, I need to tell you this. I'm not the hero you think I am. Like, I really actually don't know what I'm doing. And then you could even have it be that Tails brings back what he said at the bar, which is he's like, oh, well, I never really saw you as a hero because you, like you said, you're not my hero. You're my friend. It's like, oh, that's what Sonic needed. He needed a friend in the same way that Knuckles
definitely
needs
rounds that story up a lot better. Yeah, I agree with that.
Instead, what happens is he comes back and he goes, only Sonic the Hedgehog could be this fucking cool. I fucking love Sonic. And then they just work together and nothing changes.
That did get very annoying.
I think there was a moment, though, where, like, Tails kind of accepts that Sonic's a bit of a fucking weirdo or a bit of a loser. And that's the point where he's like, only Sonic the Hedgehog gets into trouble this much. And he's, like, driving the tornado. And he kind of is rolling his eyes as he says it. But I think we could have had more.
He actually rolled his eyes or anything, but
he did roll his eyes.
None of it sounded sarcastic.
Yeah, regardless of, because I think you're right. I think you're right, Pup. That is sort of what they're going for. But again, it's not a narrative beat. It's just I think off screen maybe Tails got it. Good for him.
Yeah, there's no clear point in the story where Tails goes from sidekick to equal. He just becomes his equal in the third act.
Yes, and so that's the big thing with Tails is that Tails is wasted in this movie. Second, this is the big thing. This is the thing that kills the movie, absolutely, which is that Sonic Movie 1, for anything you want to say about it, it is, again, very tightly written. Everything leads into the next. The most that feels like a non sequitur is like the fart joke, and even the fart joke is tied into the idea of like him being a kid or whatever. Like I hate that I have to justify it or whatever because it's fucking bad. But regardless, the fart joke is even like tied into the idea of like we're hanging out, we're doing all these things. So in the movie, in Sonic 1, it breathes. Like it has so many moments where it just lets Sonic breathe or like take in the music or whatever. And in this movie, it's not just Sonic because Robotnik is awful in this movie too. It is so stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. So for example, you might have the final act, right? Where Team Sonic gets together and they're like, guys, we're Team Sonic. This is our moment, right? Because that's the whole theme of the, you're going to find your moment. You're going to find your people and you're going to save the day. So he goes, guys, this is our moment. They stand tall. The music swells. And then it literally pans around them and he goes, by the way, I don't really have a plan right now. It's like, oh my gosh, movie.
But
can you not?
Granted, was that not part of like the whole they're better as a team though? Is like, I don't have a plan right now. And then they work that plan out together.
The beat of that, though, is not sold that way. It's sold as a punchline, which is like, we're going to do something. And like, if they like ran forward and then started figuring it out, that would make sense. But the movie wants to throw in a joke. And that's what it constantly does. So for example, the Vin Diesel and The Rock one, they're walking around this really cool temple. And it's like, wow, this is crazy. I can't believe the echidnas built this. And you don't get a second to take that in because Sonic then goes, just like Vin Diesel and The Rock. And you go, oh, right. Sorry, Sonic, I was trying to pay attention. Or whenever Knuckles comes in, and it's like, holy shit, Knuckles is here. Oh, great, the Winter Soldier. I don't care if it's a reference. He could have said, oh, great, a snowman. And it would still be cringe. Because the whole point is the movie stop, start during the Knuckles fight.
The abominable snowman would have made more sense. Oh, great, the abominable snowman.
Yeah, great, the abominable snowman. When they're fighting, Sonic and Tails are fighting, or Sonic and Knuckles are fighting, it cuts to Eggman, who's like, Sonic is doing this over here, and Knuckles is doing this over here. Who's gonna win? And he's doing Jim Carrey bullshit. And it's just really annoying, because they just keep stop, start. So you're never able to just like get into the groove of a scene, because they always have to cut away. And obviously the biggest cutaway is the 10-minute scene with the humans, and that is the whole movie. The whole movie cannot stop itself, or it cannot keep itself focused enough before adding in a joke or adding in a cutaway or anything like that. So while there are higher highs in this movie as far as being a Sonic fan or like Knuckles and stuff, those scenes are all great. The scene with Tails is really great. The movie just won't let it breathe. Like it won't let it actually come to any satisfying conclusion.
speaking of like cutaways as well, there was that bit where Sonic first blasts off to the labyrinth, and then it cuts to Wade on a Segway, making his way to the Mean Bean. And at that point, I was like, yeah, this is wearing off on me quite a bit. However, Sonic 2 did do one thing, which is much more than can be said for a lot of movies. One I would definitely make reference to would be Sponge Out of Water, for example. Is at the point where I got tired of it with Sponge Out of Water, that was it. I was tired of the movie.
Yeah.
Same goes for a Minecraft movie. When I was done, I was done. Same goes for a recent video game movie. When I was done, way before the third act, I was done. With this movie, I was feeling pretty fucking done by the wedding scene. But then as soon as we got into the labyrinth, I was like, oh, hello, what's this then? And I was like, okay, right back in the game. Because that's where the film's best shit is the labyrinth onwards through to the final battle with the big Death Egg robot, which I don't think we've even talked about yet. Like, that Death Egg robot was fucking sick. It was sick, not shit. That's the wrong word.
Well, I'll argue for why it's a bit shit, which is that the final, I think, nail in the coffin of this movie is that Robotnik is at his worst in this movie. Because Robotnik in the first movie and in the third movie, which is why I was like, they better make the third movie good, and they understood the assignment. Robotnik in the second movie is not a character. They've deleted any amount of nuance to his character, and they went with, and it makes sense logically, they went with, he's crazy now. But the reason it was fun before is that Robotnik's craziness was petty. It was pointed. Everything he said was used to like undermine Sonic or do all these things. Now he is jumping on your car and acting like a dog. That's not funny. It doesn't tie into his character anyway. It's just Jim Carrey being weird. Or when he says like, oh, you need to learn to floss or you'll be lost without me. None of that has anything to do with Jim Carrey or with Robotnik's character. It's just Jim Carrey wanted to say something silly or dumb. And so
I saw that more
takes
as
me out
him
of a lot
being
of
kind of very out of touch. Like,
but I don't think it's funny.
and I thought like his motivations were quite well established in the opening scene, which I think allowed just him being a bit more of a madcap Eggman throughout the rest of it to kind of work. If we didn't have that opening scene, I would completely agree with you. But when
I like that opening scene a lot.
I love the opening
like
scene where he's got like the little Sonic toy and it's making its way through all the traps and stuff. Like that actually feels a little like a little Sonic level, you know? Look, momentum. Like I thought, you know, the whole mushroom and that's one thing I can safely say is this film really delivered on the environments. You know, the mushroom planet, we spend extensive time there this time, and it looks really cool when it's all lit up blue. We spend extensive time in ice temples and stuff. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, so and I'll be done with that after this, which is that I think this is where Knuckles carries the film a lot, because Robotnik doesn't actually do anything to like lie to him. He is constantly talking down to him, and it's just that Knuckles is too naive, which again works for Knuckles' character. But again, it would have tied more into the idea of the feelings of like friends not being real or like Robotnik being manipulative, which is again what he was more like in the first movie. If he was actually genuinely trying to reach out to Knuckles and like do things or like help him every now and then or like give compliments that weren't backhanded. But no, he knows Knuckles is stupid, so he doesn't even have to try, or naive. So he doesn't even have to try. He's just constantly talking down to him, constantly like saying rude things. And that again makes Robotnik feel like he is separate from the story. It's just Robotnik being loony, when it's like, well, no, the obvious through line should be that he is genuinely trying to almost convince Knuckles and is genuinely like playing on his emotions. Maybe he even like gives like a like oh, he listens to his backstory. He's like, wow, that's really sad, Knuckles, and like almost talks to him like a friend. And so when Knuckles says like, but you were my friend, it's not just sad because like Knuckles is really endearing, so we like him, but we see the ways in which Robotnik is being cruel, is genuinely taking advantage of the naivety of Knuckles. But he doesn't do that. He just knows Knuckles doesn't know anything. He's just going to do what I say. And so he'll be like, oh, good job, you know, rocks your brains. Or like, they'll be like, you know, work smarter, not harder. Like, he's just always talking down to him. And so Robotnik feels like he's separate from the story. He's just being crazy.
Like, maybe Knuckles should have acknowledged it at one point and be like, can you just not talk to me like that? Like, that would have even been a funny moment.
Knuckles turns to Robotnik and he goes, why are you so fucking negative all the time?
Why are you negative?
No, but you know what? In a film desperate for comedic moments, you know how fucking fun it would be if, like, Robotnik's like, come along, rock for brains, and Knuckles is like, you know, you really don't need to talk to me like that. Like, and he just deals with it so calmly. Like, that would be fucking funny.
Words can hurt too, Robotnik.
Yeah. Cartoons can feel sadness too, Robotnik.
You know, Robotnik, I do understand what you mean with these things.
Yeah,
just because I'm a tennis ball on a string for motion tracking purposes doesn't mean that I'm
not real.
Just because I'm CGI.
Yeah, but yeah, and so I'm done bitching. But those are my core main tenets, which is the stop and start nature. Tails is underutilized, and I do think Robotnik is underutilized, and so that's kind of my main thing for the movie.
I'm also going to
And I
say,
think
A lot of good points.
I would think the soundtrack this time is even worse than the first movie. Like,
yes.
for being
the visuals.
generic, the visuals, yes and no, I'd say. I think like stuff like the labyrinth fight looks better than anything in the first movie.
Oh yeah.
But
Yes,
whenever
that
they're
was great.
outdoors, it's very washed out, and it was a COVID
Oh, yeah.
production as well. So like certain like things like that are things that did slip for COVID productions. It's why Spider-Man: No Way Home looks like it was filmed in someone's bathroom. But then you get movies like The Batman. It's like, what's going on here? Did they just lock in or something? But like lower budgets are better generally for these things. But yeah, Sonic 2 I'd say is generally the weaker looking one, with the exception of like the labyrinth fight. But the OST this time is just, what even was Junkie XL doing here? Like, the first film at least had that bit of Green Hill. This film has very faintly played the Drowning theme once, and then that's like it.
And you can
They
barely
doubled
hear
down
it.
in the wrong direction.
It's funny as well because
It was very strange.
the DVD, the Blu-ray menu, points out immediately the issue with the soundtrack for me, in that you've got all this neon, and you've got this neon framing and electricity, and it's framing all these clips of Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles in action, and the music is just like this fucking orchestral do 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 do,
Yeah,
and it's like,
generic,
what the
boring
fuck?
thing you've ever
Like
heard in your
you
life.
would expect like techno music playing over this or something with a bit of character to it, but it is just the most basic orchestral. And the second it sounds like it's getting a little interesting, turns out they just lifted that from Ant-Man for some reason.
They just stole it from Ant-Man. Yeah,
What
literally.
the fuck? Like,
Yeah. Well, and that's where like also I don't know, it's just like the so Uptown Funk. Again, we can all meme on it like, "Oh, Uptown Funk, that's stupid." But no, it legitimately is stupid, because the whole point in the first movie is that Sonic had things he liked. Like even if we were doing the pop culture, we actually put in the effort to make it tie into his character. In this movie, he's just spouting pop culture references, but it doesn't tie into like the set like obviously it makes sense for his character, but in the first movie it was sad that he did that. It was sad that the only way Sonic knew how to like interact with the world is through pop culture. Now he's just doing it, and it doesn't have heart to it anymore.
To be fair,
you know.
I see that as like a refinement kind of deal. That can be one way of overcoming like some of the stuff he's been through in that first film, is taking it and using it to his advantage. Yeah, I would also say like there are worse song choices they could have gone for than Uptown Funk, purely because Uptown Funk is still trying to be kind of a 90s New Jack kind of vibe. Like, even if it's more modern than that.
My point is more so if they had literally just established that he likes that song, like in the movie, like this is a song I listen to, Tails. Hey, let's dance to this song I like. That ties it into his bond with Tails. Like, I want to show Tails a cool song, and we're gonna do this little dance together. Or, hey, he heard that song early in the film, so I know Sonic likes Uptown Funk. Instead, it's just they play Uptown Funk, and you go, well, that makes sense. He likes pop culture, and they want to fucking use Uptown Funk. Who fucking cares? Like even the heart behind even the cynical details of the first film feel like they were pulled out of it, and I think that's what's annoying to me.
You know what's funny? The whole time you guys were talking about like, oh, like the music for Sonic 2, I'm thinking until you brought up Uptown Funk, I'm like, what was the music in Sonic 2?
It was just extensions of the music from Sonic 1, and that's not very memorable. Yeah, like Sonic, they did have the Green Hill mobile ringtone, but Green Hill is off the table as like a reference now. That's just part of it.
You don't get any points.
We expect Green Hill. You've done Green Hill. You're not getting any extra points for the Green Hill music unless we visit OG Green Hill and we have like a really cool rendition of it. In that case, fine. But and it goes on for more than 10 seconds. But yeah, in terms of video game music this time, my God, the absolute bottom of the barrel and completely unnecessary. There's like interviews and stuff, and the music, from what I understand, without going into the blame game here, because people can make good decisions and bad decisions.
Yes.
The music, from what I understand from interviews with Tom Hulkenberg, was largely down to Jeff Fowler at the time, in terms of like, we want to move away from this and go for the orchestral. Like, I remember even like with the first movie, Tom Hulkenberg mentioned he wanted to compose it using Sega Genesis sound chips and stuff like that, and use Green Hill as Sonic's theme, but like was told, no, we don't have the rights to that, and also we just want it to be orchestral and stuff. And I believe Tyson Hess was quite a driving force in delivering the feedback that these OSTs suck shit and music is really important.
Did you say that they were a mega driving force?
Yes, absolutely.
Right, come here, I'll fucking kill you.
Absolutely.
That's
Shut
better
up,
than
Dylan, I'll
every
kill you.
hedgehog has his genesis or something.
Every hero
Yeah.
has a genesis.
I
better
really
than
like
that.
Jeff Fowler. I have nothing against him
Sure.
for even making that decision, just because he has been so open about like taking feedback and criticism. And again, I know you weren't blaming or anything, but it is one of those things where it's like, no, it really does hurt the film. Something that I noticed when I watched the commentary for this movie, because I watched all the commentaries for these, for the second movie, we take for granted the idea of like, well, they're doing these baby jokes because they think the babies will laugh at it. That's why they put these jokes in. No adult obviously finds this funny. And it was really sad to see. And it's not even me insulting them as people, but it's just, it goes to show that like our taste in comedy is just so different, which is that they're talking about the jokes in these movies and they're like laughing at them as they're happening. And one of the running gags in the commentary is that, who's the guy who plays Sonic? What am I doing?
Ben Schwartz.
Ben Schwartz. Sorry. Ben Schwartz keeps talking to Jeff Fowler and being like, hey, every movie I keep wanting to say hachi machi as Sonic, but Jeff Fowler won't let me. And throughout the whole commentary, he keeps saying like hachi machi, and they're genuinely laughing at this. They genuinely think Sonic saying hachi machi for no reason is hysterical. And I'm sitting here going, oh no. So it is interesting that like with these movies, sometimes I think like, oh, they only wrote that joke in because they think the dumb idiots will like it, or the babies will like it. But no, they just think it's funny. And I think saying silly stuff is funny too.
It's
like
funny
that's
is
just, hanging out with your buddies. But
Yeah.
it is just really funny how it is a deliberate choice.
The thing is, Ben Schwartz is very good at improv because he did do a lot of improv stuff for Parks and Recreation, and John Ralphio is one of the funniest parts of that show. There's a hilarious John Ralphio moment where he finds out or thinks that his sister might be pregnant. He's like, oh my god, I'm going to be an uncle. Or maybe that's too much responsibility. I got to find a way out. And I was like, that's really fucking funny. That's absolutely hilarious. Just the idea that
I'm
uncle is
not funny for sure. Yeah.
But like, yeah, that's the thing is like maybe they're kind of playing it down for kids movies and like, yeah, maybe the kids would find Sonic saying hachi machi really funny. But there's nothing fucking funny about that in my opinion. Like,
Yeah.
Does that mean something, or is that just?
I
Like
don't know. I don't know what it means. He
Funny
just
words?
keeps saying it.
can he call Tails a Labubu in the next movie or something like that?
He
Yeah.
probably will.
But I guess to end on a positive note for the movie, which kind of shows more of what I wanted, which is the scene where Robotnik thinks that he has killed Sonic, and he genuinely, this is the kind of crazy I wanted, to give you an idea of more of what I wanted from his craziness, is where he's like, I got him. I finally got him.
And he's just
like, it genuinely feels like-
overjoyed.
Yeah, like it fills him with like euphoria that he has caused pain to Sonic and like has potentially killed him because this thing has been, eating at him. And I just feel like that is something they should have leaned into more, is that his craziness is, again, more looking down on Sonic, more overthinking. And I do think another good scene of that is when he breaks into his house and it's genuinely kind of creepy. That is really good. The way he talks to Sonic, the way he like moves out of the way for Knuckles, all of that is genuinely very, very good. And I really, really like that. Or he's like eating the popcorn and like, taking all this stuff. Like that feels very petty. That feels like Robotnik. Like, oh, Sonic's eating popcorn? This is fucking my shit now. Get out of my house, idiot. That kind of stuff. That's great. And that is more of what I wanted. So to give more an idea of what I would have appreciated more of Robotnik for this movie. So
I think just with regards to what you say there, I think, yeah, like your idea would probably only enrich it. But what allows Dr. Robotnik for me to work in this movie is that I absolutely love a scenery-chewing shithead villain. And he is in scenery-chewing shithead villain mode this entire fucking movie. And I'm just like, okay, I did enjoy the substance, but if we're transitioning over to this, and this is what we're doing, and we're succeeding at that, that's a fitting direction to go. I think the problem Sonic 2 has is that in a way, it's sort of a sequel and a reboot at the same time. It's like oh fuck, how do we build on the foundations that were our first Sonic movie, which was an adequate movie that didn't actually have that much to do with Sonic? How do we build on that? How do we turn that Robotnik into this Robotnik? And like, I don't think the transition is entirely graceful, but I do think 2 is a step up personally. And yeah, I fuck with 2.
If you think it's funny, it's funny,
I mean, I don't think it's very funny, but I do like the movie from an action standpoint.
Oh, no, I meant like Jim Carrey, like his antics,
Oh, sure. I mean, it's not so much that I find him funny, it's just that I just match his energy. I'm just like, yeah, go on, he really wants this.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah,
he was in...
Pretty charming.
I also appreciate that the movies gave us an exclusive new super form with Super Robotnik. That was such a cool idea.
Yes, that is genuinely
like
really
that.
good. There are good things in this
was
movie.
fun.
I just think the stop-start nature really hurts it. But yeah, I agree.
All right. How are we feeling? Frank, do you have anything further to say? I mean, you're the big Knuckles guy here. Like, this is his movie, you know?
Not really. I really just. I mean, I did enjoy seeing Knuckles reacting to like the world around him in this movie, and mostly towards like how Robotnik was. But aside from that, I don't have a whole lot else to say.
Some cutting room floor information, trivia kind of stuff before we leave this one is that obviously the movie is very much an adaptation of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and there were going to be a few more game elements in here before they had to be kind of nixed for budget, and also dealing with, like, Paramount execs. Kind of execs that were like, why the fuck would Sonic fight a Death Egg robot? And it's like, you guys should be fired. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you're in charge of this thing and you can't even do the most basic...
Maybe the executives should fight the Death Egg robot.
Yeah, maybe maybe we should crush them. No, but...
And if they win, they get to make decisions.
And if they win, they...
Okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna make my only Knuckles show reference. Remember when they threw the 2 rings and the 2 agents got put into it?
do that.
Do that with the execs. Yeah. Do that.
Banish them to the mushroom planet.
But then there was other things as well. So, like, I think originally in the plans, they wanted it to be a quest to kind of return the Master Emerald home to Angel Island, because without it, it would collapse and crumble. So a bit more like the game. And then, like, that Labyrinth Temple was originally planned to be Angel Island rising from the ground from, like, Sonic's home planet. And because it was going to be more of an intergalactic adventure, the snow would be more of a snow planet kind of deal, and the plan was for them to, like, stop off at this intergalactic library at some point where a lot of Longclaw's history was. So, like, I think if they had the budget, if they had the budget and the confidence from the shareholders, they think they had the right idea, with one exception. In the cabin, they also wanted it to be all Anthros as well, because they wanted that to be another world. And they wanted Big the Cat's skeleton to be in there. And I'm like, okay, don't kill Big.
I didn't know that.
What the
That one I would have cut. Don't do that.
Robbed.
That's crazy. What?
Well, they wanted to find little ways.
Robbed.
In fact, while we're doing little look back stuff, I also want to note Sonic 1 as well. There was supposed to be a big side plot involving a killer lizard escaping containment.
Okay.
Like a big lizard? Like, what do you
mean?
Like...
Okay, so Sonic 1 lizard character. I can't remember what his name was, but he did... Ratha! His name's Ratha. Okay, Ratha the Destroyer.
What the fuck? That's awesome, and that's from Monster Hunter?
That's fun.
No, Rava, sorry, not Ratha. Rava the Destroyer. Now, Rava...
Ratha from Monster Hunter Stories.
Rava, there was going to be this subplot about this lizard escaping containment called Rava the Destroyer, and Sonic would probably go on to fight him or something. This was obviously nixed from that first movie. No idea why you'd think of, here's Rava the Destroyer before Tails, but all right. However...
Sonic fights a Rathalos.
Well, Rava the Destroyer would get a role in a piece of official Sonic movie media, and that is the Sonic 2 prequel comic, where Tails, when he's searching for Sonic, goes to several different worlds, including Casino Night, Marble Zone, Green Hill. Like, it's all the classic stages, and I would have loved to have seen this in the movie.
Can we just say that comic, putting all that shit in there, just being like a regular ass Sonic world and comic, it makes it really funny when you go to the movie, when it's like, we're in the snow place now, where there's snow, like in Sonic.
Yeah,
there's snow.
Or like the Ice Cap Ski Resort. Or
Wow.
Green Hills, Montana. Like, that is a bit...
water thing.
I'm not complaining. I just think it's very funny, the dichotomy between that comic just being like, look at all this cool Sonic shit, and then the movie being like, no, there's none of that.
Well, the thing is, Tails confronts Rava the Destroyer in, I think, the Aquatic Ruin Zone. So, like, Rava did make it into continuity in the end. And as well as that comic also explains what the hell those birdmen were that came out of the portal at the start of the movie, before Knuckles came out. It's kind of interesting that, because I remember seeing that, be like, what's this? Are they going to start singing, like, Jungle Boogie or something? Like,
they're right behind you, Knuckles.
Yeah. All right, so...
there were bird people coming out, so it was actually a Metroid movie.
Oh, congrats to those bird people, but it's not June yet, so sorry, don't care.
What?
You
know what?
What birds
not
have
even gonna ask.
June?
Just move on.
All right, here we go. The big boy, the big one. All right, the one I've been looking forward to personally. Sonic 3. I
have a confession to make.
Well, we'll do the round table thing, but okay. How long is the confession gonna be?
Quick.
Okay.
All right. I've only seen the movie once.
Really?
I liked it, but I just never watched it again.
Dang.
I had
Okay.
fun. I don't actually have a whole lot of concrete details in my brain aside from some of like the key scenes that are, probably easy to remember. But I have like the general gist of it.
Okay.
What do you think of it?
Shadow's fucking awesome.
It
There are
really
a
is.
few things. I'll just get my stuff out of the way. The things that I liked about it that I remember at least. The fact that they open up, or sorry, it's early in the movie where they show Maria roller skating, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's in the first act.
And on the arc, or not on the arc, on the
On
wherever
the
the hell
base.
they are.
Yeah.
That I was like, okay, that's the most wholesome, most adorable thing I've ever experienced, because that means that she taught Shadow to roller skate, and that's why
Yep.
he always does that. And
So good.
I loved that right off the bat. Like, there's a lot of very small little fun details that I like, but I think having both Jim Carreys is a lot constantly, and they're in the movie a lot, and I do like them. Like, they are part of the reason I enjoyed it so much, because their dynamic is fun, and then when it turns around, it's also pretty good. But like, I think just like the last one, like we were talking about, this movie is another movie where shit just happens back to back to back. Like, they really don't, like, they have very brief moments, like where Shadow and Sonic sit and talk for a second. It's really nice. It's a little bit reminiscent of like the Knuckles makeup scene, from Sonic
is.
2.
Higher stakes,
Um,
though.
They kissed.
It's got a lot of higher stakes, and it definitely ends in a cooler thing. And the team up with Super Sonic and Shadow is fucking awesome. And we got a fight between super forms, which we've never had before, ever, which is cool.
Yeah, outside of like Sonic X. But yeah.
Except in Sonic, yeah, sorry, yeah, I forgot about that.
I mean, for Sonic X
it-
fans,
it's
that's
better.
very
This one looks
exciting.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, except
I
it has
just- I like that
animation
they
this
take a lot
time.
of- they take a lot of really nice things from SA2, and they make a story that works fine while taking the pieces out that they did. And I don't know, like there were times where I was like, this is great. I'm having a really great time. I think that's still probably the one I would go back and watch the most, but I don't know if that's because I've only seen it once or if it's because I actually liked it the most. I can't really say for sure.
What do
But
you
I,
like?
I did love.
We should watch it
I
together
love
at
it.
some point. We should do like a watch party.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd be
I would do
so
that, yeah.
game. Because I guess
I've only seen it once, so.
to open up my end, I absolutely fucking love this movie. This movie is sick. It takes the source material of Sonic Adventure 2, but I think it really actually builds and expands upon some of its themes in ways that the original game kind of didn't, which makes up for the areas that it didn't adapt. Like, for example, I would have loved to have seen Rouge. I would have loved to have seen
Sorry,
Amy.
I have one
Of course
tiny
you
last
would.
thing.
Okay, go
I
on.
have one last tiny thing.
Okay.
I think Tom should have been killed, for real. I think he should have died. Not because I don't like Tom, I just think it would have hit so much fucking harder for Sonic to actually forgive Shadow for doing that and lashing out in anger.
I think the thing is, it might be a
because
little
that'd
hard
be
to
insane.
buy. That might be a little hard
It
to
would be, but like I think it would be a thing where Sonic would have to think about what Tom taught him, and he would not want, like, just like how he didn't want Sonic to go crazy over being a hero and all this shit. Like, he wouldn't want Sonic to go down the path of dark revenge and ruin all that shit that
It
he's
would
built
speak.
up. And
It would speak well to his kind of mental fortitude, I think. But
it
like,
would be insane if that happened.
I
But like,
think
I actually did think they killed him for a second, because I was like, Shadow's very strong.
you'd need.
Like, Shadow's he's like a world threat, basically. Like,
I think
does that kill him? I don't know.
if you killed Tom, I think you'd end up with a slightly untidy ending, which wouldn't have to be the worst thing in the world. But like, obviously, like
if they
Sonic,
intend to keep
regardless,
going, I think
regardless of what whether or not Shadow actually did succeed in killing Tom, regardless of his condition, Sonic did forgive Shadow, and that was a big moment and stuff. However,
Yeah,
I
no,
think
it's
if
still
it was
funny
because
if
the
it were
light believed
revealed
that he
later,
believed he could be dead, so.
if it were revealed later that he'd died, that suddenly unearths a lot of emotion and stuff like that. That would kind of
and Shadow's gone
got
too,
the
so
ending.
Sonic has to think about it on his own. Like,
yeah, but
Yeah,
like, I think
then we have
that,
5
that's
minutes left.
yeah, you got 5 minutes of the movie left at that point, and I think the other thing is like, I just think people in the audience that have lost parents aren't quick to forgive the things that might be involved in it. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think
sure.
if you
No,
have Shadow
having
actually
him
kill,
yeah.
if you have Shadow actually kill someone close to Sonic, even if it's accidental, it does create that there, and it's
way harder to
difficult.
forgive him.
It's difficult to get the audience on board with that, and it's difficult to
It would
get.
have been a very interesting path to redemption.
It
after
would,
that.
yeah.
You would just need more.
It would be
time.
tough. I agree. It would be tough though, because like I do agree with, especially it being a kids movie. Obviously, I don't think they would have.
Shadow
But like
also
they did.
like
Maria is technically dead. Gerald's dead as fuck. He died as hell.
yeah.
But like
Although did
yeah,
he?
no, I mean, like, I'm not saying it would have been better, I guess, but like it would have
Would've
been
been
interesting to have. I think I liked your thing, Pup, where you said they don't know, and then at the end, after Shadows
he
are
doesn't.
gone, yeah, like
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
wouldn't
he
know.
doesn't know.
I think it'd be very interesting that he's like, oh wait, I forgave him because I'm hoping that Tom's gonna pull through, and he doesn't. Would be a gut punch, and like you said, it'd be hard to wrap up in a few minutes. That would be my intention if I was working on it. It's not for the last 5 minutes to wrap up. It's almost like this is what's going to carry into the next movie now. This is where we're starting with him. He's going to be
It's a really, really
having to deal
bummer
with it.
ending though, with like Eggman dying, Shadow dying, Tom
sure,
dying.
sometimes that's how life is. They
will
save the
say,
world no matter what cost.
Commander Walters dies. Everybody
will
fucking
say-
dies.
I will say, Dylan, I
The
think what
Olive
they were
Garden
probably going for,
dies.
this is why I appreciate it, is that I don't think it's necessarily just because I'm not saying you're saying this. I don't think it's just because like it's a kids movie, but I do think it is going for more that One Piece style, where in the modern day nobody fucking dies because we're in the
Yeah.
good path. And then the backstory idea is that Maria is what we don't want to happen to Sonic, and we don't want to happen. But because Sonic does choose kindness and love and forgiveness, he is rewarded narratively, and I think that works quite well.
And it's at a time
Yeah,
when
no,
he
that
doesn't know
I
as
like
well.
how it works as it is
Like,
too.
Sonic's
It's like a
ignorance to it
hypothetical.
and his willingness to forgive overcomes like his anxiety about Tom's condition. So like regardless, like things for now are chill. But like I think, you know, the note that the movie ends off on is one I think it kind of needed to, where it's like we're back home, the family's together, Knuckles has forgiven Sonic for what he did, for his misgivings, and they're off onto their next adventure. They do this everywhere they go.
But what if Tom died and then Sonic went, "This is just like what happened in Old Yeller."
Oh, dude, I seen The Lion King before. Oh, jeez.
Oh no,
Oh,
the Lion King. That's
I know
better.
where this is going.
Oh, this is just like in the Lion King, Shadow. What is that? What the fuck are you talking about?
It's that
Tails, you're
movie
Timon,
that came
and
out
Knuckles, you're
opposite
Pumbaa,
us.
because you're stupid.
Shut the fuck up,
I
Sonic.
thought
I'm
of the
killing
most
your dad.
fucked up-
Shut up.
The most fucked up time he could say that is in front of Maddie.
Hey, Maddie, this is just like the Lion King, and then it shows her face on the doorstep.
He's crying. She's crying, and he's like, "Don't worry, Maddie. It's just like the Lion King. I'll be stronger now."
Also, did we finish going around the table and just asking everyone for their
No,
general
not
quick
at
thoughts?
all.
No,
Frank,
Frank's good. I think
Frank, yeah, just
Frank,
thumbs
you're
up,
up.
thumbs down kind of deal with a little elaboration.
Thumbs up, hell of a movie. So much fun to watch from beginning to end. This is like the most rewatchable one for me. Sonic 1's is not as rewatchable, and after thinking about Sonic 2 for a while, I can watch parts of it because the rest I don't care. But for Sonic 3, I'm cool with the whole thing.
Yeah, like
There you
there's, it doesn't have that clear like this is a fucking problem factor that Sonic 2 has with like the humans, because it does what Sonic 2 should have done. It parks them and lets their shit happen off screen, and then just treats them as a home base for the character. But shit, it's Ian's turn.
It's
Very good.
hold on. It's also one of those things where like I'm so happy that that he's just not Game Sonic.
Yeah.
Where he's able to emote more than just okay, I'm gonna go get him.
Well,
And it's
that
like
just
no,
happened.
like he and Knuckles almost come to blows like for taking the Master Emerald or
Excellent
for wanting to
scene.
use the Master Emerald.
Yeah, I
It was
like
just like,
that. That was
Yeah, that's one of the best scenes in the movie is Knuckles confronting Sonic on that.
I mean, it leads into the worst character in the whole Sonic movie universe. Showing
It does,
up,
but wait, no, that's not
This
Wonder
is-
Whipple.
shows how much Knuckles has progressed. Not progressed.
Hey,
like
I'm not talking
how
about
far
that TV
Knuckles
show,
has
okay,
come
pup?
Okay, fair enough.
since since he got there, because he does back down. Like I was expecting them to fight there over the
Yeah.
Emerald, just to be like, I won't let you
Yeah.
do this and besmirch the honor of our whatever. But he backs down. He's like, listen, you're gonna regret this later. I know it.
And his reason
like,
for
I'm gonna
doing
back
so being to like uphold
Yeah.
his part of the oath to trust each other, even if
Yeah.
Sonic has
Yeah, I
decided
liked
to break his. Brilliant. That is Knuckles to a T. That is
Yeah.
my guy.
Always
And-
it's very Knuckles. Yeah.
And the fact that like of
Yeah,
the
that's my line.
of the hero characters of this movie, Knuckles is the MVP this time. Like, because, like, Shadow and Robotnik are the ones to do the big final battle sacrifice. But when it comes to rescuing Sonic and Tails, Knuckles is the last man standing in this scene. And that is so ballsy, considering, like, this is a Sega thing. Sega, you know, Sonic has to be always the best boy. But, like, no, Knuckles rescues Sonic and Tails. Knuckles is the one that keeps Sonic in check. Knuckles is part of Sonic's moral compass in this movie, and he's an invaluable asset. And this is the thing that made, like, the Knuckles series such a bitter pill, was, like, this could be his last time in the spotlight, because Sonic 2 was his big movie. That series could have been his last time in the spotlight, yet this movie brilliantly handled Tails and Knuckles, I think, like, bringing them into that story. And by keeping them as, like, a unit, like Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles travel together, while I did have some regrets of, like, oh, there's no Angel Island and Knuckles can just carry the fucking Master Emerald up his bum, doesn't have to guard it. But at the same time, it allows Knuckles to participate in these stories more consistently. And I don't think that's a bad thing by any means, because I love Knuckles and I will welcome him wherever.
No, that was the main drawback in the games, because they went, hey, Knuckles is supposed to be on Angel Island protecting the Master Emerald, so then every time he wasn't there and they didn't mention it, people were like, why the fuck isn't he on Angel Island?
Just make the Master Emerald little. There you go.
He's starting a new army for Operation Big Wave 2.
Oh god. This having him be able to just making that canon, having him be able to carry the emerald around, shrink it, whatever the hell he does. It's very cool. They just have that right off the bat. That way people don't even need to question why he's not like sitting in a cave protecting the emerald or something.
It would be cool if they made, like, protecting the Master Emerald, like, the finale of Knuckles' story. Like, basically, he's gone all this time, but, like, maybe the Master Emerald's growing, or Angel Island is dying without it, and, like, he tries to keep it in a safe space, but, like, there's thieves out there, like Rouge, for example, and in the end, he decides, like, the only way to protect this thing is to sacrifice everything and just stand by it for the rest of his life. Like, that would be a tragic ending for his character.
But he can also be like, but I do have a home. It's in my heart. You know, you guys are there too. Like, you know, it'd be very cute.
Yeah,
and they can have, like, voice calls.
I can get on a Skype call anytime, and then they
go,
we
literally have
Skype went out of business 8 years ago.
Yeah, or maybe, like, you know, occasionally a ring portal opens up and, like, Sonic's,
they just open the rings.
Yeah, there could be a point where maybe, like, this could be the final shot of the film. Knuckles is next to the emerald. He lays down to go to sleep, laying his head on a rock. A ring portal opens up. Maybe Tom just places a pillow beneath his head, and then the ring portal closes.
Oh.
All I got was a stupid joke of, like, we can talk through this texting. ...
breaks the phone.
I'm typing, but all I'm seeing is dots. You need to take off your gloves. I'm not doing that, you sick fuck.
You know I lost my hands.
You get one of those. You get one of those stylus pens.
You never told us that, Knuckles. Oh, I forget what I told you.
Listen, I was a hand model a long time ago, and I don't want anyone recognizing my hands, Sonic.
By the way, with Knuckles, I really adore that. Because it's not just that he, like, trusts Sonic, but it does tie into the idea of, like, Sonic isn't going to be corrupted, because the whole idea is he says, like, they're going to fight. And he goes, like, the reason I'm not going to fight you is because we promised that we would trust each other. So if you're going to take it, I am going to trust you that you will use it responsibly. And he genuinely ends up doing that, which gives Knuckles and Tails the ability to basically, like, take things on their own, get up to the spaceship, and they're able to save Robotnik, which is able to work on the ship. And then they're there to catch Sonic when he falls and do all that stuff. So again, it's not just like, you know what, we shouldn't fight because we're friends. I also like that it ties into the idea of, like, why Sonic is such a good person, which is that Knuckles does believe in him. And he's like, okay, I do think you will make the right choice, even though I know you're angry right now. And I'm gonna give you that opportunity by not fighting you. Like, by not pushing back on you. If I had to
choose between the world and Sonic, I would choose Sonic.
And again, like I said earlier too, it's definitely a case of, like, look at how far Knuckles has come as well. Because in the first movie, he says, okay, I'll kill Sonic based on what this random guy I've never met says. And now, when Sonic is actually threatening to take the thing that he was so worried about, he pulls the thing, like you said. Like, he's like, I trust you, and I'm not going to let that previous experience get in the way of that. Like, I trust you and the experience before it doesn't change that.
And then there's also, like...
Okay, hold on. I want to back up for a moment. Pup, did you just quote Sonic 06?
Yes.
He did. Yeah.
I hate that. I hate that so much.
So, the thing...
You said that, I'm like, fucking Princess Elise.
No, that's Amy. Another thing I think is absolutely lovely about this film is Knuckles, like, forgives Sonic at the end as well. He doesn't need him to grovel or anything. He's just quickly like, Team Sonic? And then they have that little Sonic Boom reference of all things, where it's like, how about just Team? Like, that's a Boom bit. Like...
Well, and the music, by the way, I guess we can talk about this now. The music in this movie, so much better.
But before we get there,
yeah, go for it.
I just want to wrap us up on Knuckles. The fact that we're talking about Sonic 3, and before we've talked about Shadow even, all we've fucking talked about is Knuckles, goes to show, fuck yes, Knuckles is so fucking back after that horrible TV series.
Really good.
Yeah,
there was a TV series?
No.
Are we talking about Sonic X?
I was referring to the Mario
Sonic
spin-off TV series, Toad.
Who?
All right, we'll move on.
The Super Mario Brothers Super Show?
I'll be so mad.
Hey, fuck
okay,
you,
yeah.
Luigi.
You wanted to talk music, Ian.
Yeah, just to say that. So again, I don't give a shit if they play Live and Learn. They should play Live and Learn because they need to. Jeff Fowler said he would die if he'd be murdered by fans, which is true. So it's good they played Live and Learn. But the reason it's so good in this movie is that it is a leitmotif. Like, it is actually used genuinely throughout the film as Shadow's leitmotif, his character theme, if you will. And they even have an inverse version. I remember when we saw that clip of him fighting the characters for the first time, and people were like, is that Live and Learn, but like inverse? And people are like, there's no way they're going to put that much heart into this movie or like that much thought into it. No, genuinely they did. They genuinely went out of their way to use Live and Learn as like a consistent thing. They even have it played on like the guitar and stuff. And then it's just, again, you don't even have to know what Live and Learn is. That is just good movie making, which is that you have a song that ties into this character, and it is something you can track throughout the movie. So when it crescendos into your big, butt rock song that's fucking awesome, then it feels like a triumphant moment because it's been there the whole movie, and it feels like Shadow. Through the music, Shadow has grown. Yeah, go ahead.
Speaking of Live and Learn, there was one bit, like, just an editing decision that I found really funny the first time I watched the movie, just because I was a little caught off guard. It's in the opening scene where Shadow's in his pod, and you can hear Maria playing Live and Learn on guitar, and it cuts to her playing guitar. I almost thought this was going to turn into a music documentary. Like, it cuts to her playing the guitar, and it cuts, like, I don't know, Paul McCartney, like, well, yeah, you see, the thing about Live and Learn is that it's a really good song, Like, it's iconic. It's brilliant. It's got all the best riffs we've ever heard. And it cuts to some other music bigwig who's like, yes, I think that, it's a great song. It's an icon. Cuts back to Shadow. Is like, that's the
it's
the
made
center
us a lot
of
of
his
money, yes.
story. Yes.
And Johnny wants some, but yeah.
Like Paul McCartney is going to talk about it for like the next 30 years.
Yeah, Brian May's just there like, you see, Johnny Gioeli is one of the best guys I have ever met, and I love Sonic Adventure 2. It's just really funny.
But then,
that would be awesome. Actually, that'd be so funny.
I
I'd
also
be
want to
like,
give
"You know what?
credit,
I
by
need
the
a
way,
little more money."
to the movie using its own score in the finale. I think everything from when like Sonic and like the sacrifice scenes, basically everything from like Robotnik going up and doing his thing to like when Knuckles grabs them, the music is just actually genuinely like great in that whole section, and none of it's
there's a number of reasons for this, is because of how it uses leitmotifs. When Shadow is like pushing the arc and he's having the flashbacks, it plays like a motif from Live and Learn, and then when it cuts to Robotnik's Sacrifice, it's playing Robotnik's theme throughout these two movies, but in a major key, so it's like a triumphant but almost kind of melancholy version of it. And the way it goes to like the piano for when it shows Stone on Earth, like this was all brilliant stuff. I could tell,
and like Knuckles saving them, where it goes like da da, like he grabs stuff and then they go through the portal.
And then there's also the fact that, like, in the opening scene, you've got this sort of incomplete version of Live and Learn, but you can already hear it coming together. And there's that bit where he's skimming along the water, and it's got this, like, sort of techno beat with it. And then the next time we see Sonic, after we're done hearing about the 99 red balloons, we hear the level complete jingle and stuff. You've got Escape from the City in there. But the one that really surprised me the most was the last scene from Sonic Adventure 2 getting played for the last scene of this movie. It was like, oh my god, we're really even going there? You've got the '06 Eggman theme, and the thing is, okay, I'm sorry, I've quickly got to just break a gimmick here.
All right.
To compare it to a current movie, okay? The first Mario movie did better on the soundtracks than the Sonic movies did. Any of them, I'd say, including 3. But I actually think Sonic 3 used its game themes much better than the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Even though it has more of it in the Galaxy movie, it doesn't accentuate moments as much as it does here, or as it did in the first Mario movie. You know, because like it's in the first one, you'd get these sweeping shots of these different locations, and you'd hear that music playing.
Yeah,
the second movie has no time for establishing shots of anything, so you got no reason for those musical beats to really hit. With this, like Sonic 3, it uses it a bit more sparingly, but it's more impactful where it is.
Oh yeah, sorry, can I give you one example of Galaxy's music hitting really, really fucking well? It's not really that much of a spoiler. It's not that much of a spoiler. But there's a part where a lot of bombs show up, and the music, it's been a mixture of themes from different games, right? But then it cuts to Bomb Battlefield for a bit, and I was like, oh my, but it's like it's Bomb Battlefield, but it's in like a different key, like you said, so it sounds dangerous. And I was like, oh my god.
There was one bit, and again, I'm going to keep it as spoiler-free as possible, but
they're doing this because I haven't seen the movie yet.
And also because I'm not assuming everyone here has seen it. It's a Sonic podcast at the end of the day. But the scene with Toad, in the lead up to that, they play a song from the Mario games, which actually this song was the point that cemented me as a fan of Mario, I think. Like that music that played in that original game was the point where I was like, okay, I really fucking get this franchise now. But in the movie, I was like, this has absolutely nothing to do with what's going on here. Like, I was like, I feel nothing. They just put this in for the hell of it. So like, I think I will say even now, even with Sonic 3, I can't remember who said this. I think it might have been Person108 on Twitter, but like, there is definitely a middle ground between the Sonic approach of we're going to kind of drip feed these characters gradually over time, and the Mario movie approach of fucking look at the jingle keys, guys. You know, like look a sprite. Do you remember that sprite? Remember that? It's on a piñata now. Like it's just, yeah. You know, like Sonic 3 dealt with its fan service in a way that at least felt a little bit classy. You know, I will say though, for locations, this one isn't as strong as 2, because like 2, you've got like Ice Cap and shit like that, whereas in this one you've got the Eclipse Cannon itself, Prison Island, and then you've got England. Tokyo was a cool
of all places.
Tokyo
which is definitely the weakest section of the movie.
Even funnier that it's called like Tokyo Mission in like the Japanese subtitle for the movie or something, because they're really not there for that long.
Well, that's the funny thing as well, is like when marketing and stuff doesn't quite understand the appeal of these things. Like I remember there was Idris Elba on the red carpet at the premiere, and he was being interviewed, and they were asking like, so why should people in London look forward to Sonic 2? And it's like, well, it's got a lot of action, but also it's got London in it. And it's like, yay, people who live in London are going to be super excited about London. Like,
do people in London like London? Like,
and whereas in Japan, it's like, look, Tokyo, and it's like, Tokyo, I'm just like, look, Shadow. You know, it's my thing.
Is that Shadow the Hedgehog?
Is that
it's the Chow Garden restaurant?
Yeah, which we should probably talk about him.
Yeah, the Chow Garden restaurant, actually, like. The Chow Garden restaurant is emblematic of my issues with this universe, but at the same time, I can't even be mad. Like, my issues being, oh man, it's a restaurant. There's no chows in this universe. But at the same time, it's like,
it's not real.
Yeah. You know what would be really funny, though, is...
Cheese, and I was so pissed that they weren't real.
But you know what would be hilarious, though, is if we introduced Cream in a later movie, and she inexplicably just has a Chow mascot character that she treats as a pet, and it really is that size, and it is a costume. But there's, like, no one under there. They just look like that.
I don't like that world, man. Don't like that at all. Isn't that like, what's the movie with the kid with the imaginary friend, but it's like the rabbit. It's like an evil looking rabbit. You know what I'm talking about? Like, what is it? Hold on.
Wait,
no, this one's going over my head.
Are you thinking of like 5 Children in It?
No.
It's going over my head. I don't know.
Well, either way, like, the thing I would say is, these Sonic movies, they did find inventive ways to work certain bits of lore in. I love the fact that we got to see practical Chow costumes. I love the fact that we got to see a practical bio-lizard costume for a couple of seconds. I love that
so much.
That was so fun. That was such a great way of working Blitzy in there. Oh, Donnie Darko, Dylan?
Those are charming.
I might have details about the movie wrong. I think I was thinking about... technically, that's what I was thinking of, yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think it's an imaginary friend.
There were also other little bits of trivia here and there, like Knuckles being afraid of ghosts in this is kind of a bit like that. A ghost from SA2, and also an unironic Family Guy cutaway in a Sonic movie. Because
I was gonna say, but they actually make a joke out of it, which is nice. Yeah,
the bit where he's like, Knuckles, a kid in a warrior fears nothing, and it cuts back to him watching Casper. It was like, that's a
That was good.
That is a Family Guy cutaway.
Friendly ghost.
The timing there
that's
was
cute because that's actually showing more of like them as like brothers, like watching a movie together. So that has value, you know.
No, that was really funny. I will say this movie I think has some of the funniest jokes in it, but it also has some terrible ones here and there too. But like, I think one of my favorite jokes is when Dr. Robotnik and Gerald get caught in the gravity field thing, which was a really nice reference, by the way, to the gravity panels in Sonic Adventure 2. But like when they get
I didn't even think of that.
When they get caught in that, and Robotnik goes, "I don't believe this," and then Gerald goes, "I know, grandson, a woman in the military." I was like,
cracks me up every time.
That's hilarious.
It's a risky one, but it worked.
The part of the joke is Gerald as an old man, and that's really fucking funny.
Yeah. That's what
Do you think that they don't draw any attention to it because Robotnik is like, God, I hope nobody heard that. Like he's really hoping that it was quiet enough that nobody heard it.
Can you imagine how much less
like,
funny it would be if Sonic was like,
otherwise,
dude.
I feel like he would have been like, grandfather, you can't say that.
You're so
Yeah, you can't
cringe.
say that. Yeah.
You're so freaking old, grandfather.
If they drew way too much attention to it, it wouldn't land.
Where this movie focused on its human characters, I think it found the right human to focus on, because Robotnik is kind of the main character of this movie. But if you are going to focus on any human character in a Sonic thing, make it Dr. Robotnik. I'm honestly fine with projects where Robotnik gets more screen time than Sonic. I'm pretty sure Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog contains more of Robotnik than it does Sonic. And it's fine because he's fucking hilarious in that show. So like, and I think he's very funny here.
Character himself.
I know the part where they're like supposed to be bonding and everything, it could come off as a bit cheesy, but I fucking loved it.
The thing is
the way it turns around at the end, where it becomes like this almost like a suicide pact he wants, where he's like he tells him like, hey, like we're gonna die, and he's like, and I want you to like, you know, be in this with me. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. And he's like, well, wait, why would you want to live? Like, there's nobody down there who cares about you. Wouldn't you want to be up here?
Well, before we jump on that. Because that's going to be a big point. That's a really big point there. Before we go on to that territory, I do want to talk about one bit in the montage of the bonding that I wish they hadn't cut. And it's where, like, Gerald is in, like, Robotnik's room, and he's Santa in one moment, and he's full of joy, turns off the light, and he's like a beast in this horrifying costume, and Robotnik is just screaming like the nostalgia critic on his bed. And it's just, it's really fucking funny. Like,
the joke where he jumps on him on the Christmas tree is really funny, too.
Yeah, that's
like,
really... The way, like, he wraps his legs around him as well. It's just so funny. And the thing is, the Parent Trap effect here. You got to think, I'd seen the Flash movie 1 year before, where they deep faked an Ezra Miller on top of another actor, basically, and called it a day. And I was like, how the fuck did a Sonic 3 get a Parent Trap effect better than The Flash, a DC movie? Like... The Robotnik stuff between the two actors is really seamless, and that's partly down to how good of a physical actor Jim Carrey is. But like, damn, like the compositing here is just the effects in this movie.
Physically interacting. They're not just like standing next to each other and you can call it a day.
This
like,
movie,
physically
this movie has the most special effects of any of the Sonic movies, purely just for the double Jim. But like for all the other effects and stuff. As like a special effects showcase, this movie's fantastic. Like you get Marvel,
like, gorgeous.
You get lots of Marvel movies these days where it's like, you know, you could come away and say, oh, there are a few shots that looked a bit shit in that movie, and it's like, you know, you're okay with it, but there's a few shots that look bad. These Sonic movies, I think, across the board, they do an incredible job with compositing the characters in there, and they always look like they're there in the scene. They always look tangible.
Oh yeah,
and I think this third movie, just for how much it leans into that, looks fantastic. And then, of course, we got to talk about, like, Shadow. And I kind of... I just, like...
All of that, we're still just getting to Shadow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Shadow...
I have some stuff, actually, about him.
I remember Jeff Fowler...
in a while.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Just before you do, I just remember Jeff Fowler saying he wanted to make the best movie version of Shadow he possibly could. And I think he succeeded completely. Like, I think this is as good as it could possibly be. But, Dilnor, what did you want to say?
So my big worry with Shadow was that he was gonna appear for that scene where he kicks everyone's ass, and then he was gonna fuck off till the end of the movie. Like, that was
He gets captured.
My big fear. Not captured. Just he was gonna be in the background. Maybe he would have a couple scenes with Robotnik and stuff. But like, they do focus more on. I think that is one thing I came away from the movie with, at least. They do focus in on the characters they want to tell the story about. So like, we do have plenty of scenes where you do get a lot of sympathy and information about Shadow, and like, for such a silly concept and for how extreme things get as quickly as they do, with both Robotniks running around and Shadow, it feels extremely grounded the way that, like, they build up to the point where Sonic and Shadow finally have that little discussion, and Shadow is just like, he actually responds to speaking to Sonic. Like, it feels like it's the first time he actually has had someone to confide in since Maria.
And
And
the fact that he wants to die, he wants to be killed. It's
yeah,
really sad.
he would rather die than try and make good on what Maria would have wanted. And
I think
I think it is a great lead up, and it just works really well with Sonic's character as well, especially after Sonic wanted to kill him.
That's one of the
for a
most
bit.
amazing
Again,
things about this movie as well, I think, is
the live and learn, like the acoustic live and learn. God, oh,
like, I would not have been surprised at all if they'd shied away from Shadow's origin story. Maybe gave him something a bit more fit for purpose. Because I always kind of joked and said, like, I love Shadow's backstory, but it's the kind of thing as well where if someone else were doing that for me and I were running a kids franchise, I'd tap someone on the shoulder and be like, what's this? And that makes me realize that maybe I'm not as good of a producer as I wish I would have been if I were a producer. I mean, to be honest, no, I'd fucking sign off on that shit in a heartbeat. Are you fucking kidding me? That sounds awesome. But, like, if I had a boss I had to answer to, maybe that would be different. But, like, I love the fact that this movie, they could so easily have toned this down. Can you imagine if Illumination had to handle Shadow's backstory? Don't even fucking go there. They couldn't even handle...
I mean, Gerald created the minions, actually.
They couldn't even handle the tiny bit of depth the Mario series offered them. So, like, why would I, like... Thank God we didn't get them dealing with this story here. And I thought, you know, like, some of this stuff felt like watching, like, a live-action Dark Beginnings, where we're seeing, like, him meeting Maria for the first time. I love the fact that the comet that he came down in looks just like the Black Comet. And kind of how they factored that in as just he is an alien from another world. He's not created by Gerald.
Which works, because Sonic's an alien.
And everything happening on this underground base also made perfect sense as well. I was initially a bit worried about, like, oh, but is that less cool? But in this instance now, we still got that Eclipse Cannon thing happening later. But, like, Shadow's pain feels genuine. We actually spend significant time with him and Maria, getting to know her, getting to kind of know what she's all about. And I love that in this movie, she's not just a little angel girl like the game Maria. Like, game Maria is very angelic and stuff like that. And she does have little bits of character here and there, but it's that thing of, like, she's a kid character, she's got to be very polite. They do the same with Cream, fine. But, like, in this movie, she's, you know, breaking into gun areas and stuff. She's in there because Gerald lets her, and it even says a little bit about what Gerald kind of thought of Maria too, and kind of how his later motivation for disregarding Robotnik, which we'll get into later because it's a big moment. I don't want to pull Ian off of that and then do it myself. But, like,
No,
the Robotnik family feels very central to this movie and tied directly to its themes in a really strong way. And Shadow as a part of that family in the same way that Sonic is a part of a family. Like, they found a way to work Sonic Wachowski into the Sonic Adventure 2 storyline. And everything they did was in service of that yin and yang theming of Sonic and Shadow. They really understood that to the extent that they took it a little further by having Gerald Robotnik has his own kind of Ivo Robotnik has his own kind of evil doppelganger in this movie that he goes up against, you know? Tails has Agent Stone, and then Knuckles, he's just keeping the peace, to be honest. I think
that's what makes him stand out, is that he
Knuckles
doesn't really
has
have
already
a parallel,
fought
and yet
his
he's still so
Actually, no, if Tails parallels Agent Stone, then Knuckles parallels... No, Knuckles doesn't parallel Shadow.
Wait.
Knuckles parallels me.
You know what? Knuckles ain't paralleling anything. Knuckles is just here, and we're happy he's here.
Knuckles is
Just
just
parallel parking. He's trying to figure it out.
Knuckles is the moral center. He's the heart. He's the heart of it. If you got Sonic and Shadow,
unironically, which is
Sonic
crazy.
and Shadow opposed. Robotnik and Robotnik opposed. Tails and Agent Stone, it's touched upon, and then Knuckles is the heart. There you go. Like, that's beautiful. That's
Absolutely
really beautiful.
crazy, and it's because he's red.
Yeah, he's red like a heart. He beats things, you know, like
Yeah,
Heart,
it all
yeah.
makes sense.
And you know what?
He's strong like a heart sometimes.
For the devoted human scene in this movie as well, the London stuff, it's by far the strongest like human material. I do think it's very optically strange with Tom becoming Randall. Maddie turning into Rachel is one thing, but Tom becoming Randall is optically very strange. Like, can he do that?
It's fine if you look. I think it's fine if you look at it from just the fact that, in the same way that we know that Jim Carrey is playing another character, and we like that about it. Like, they make a joke about it. I think it is also very. I think it's very cute that they were like, how do we keep these characters that we obviously like these actors. Everyone who works on these movies say they're like really fun. They were like, oh, well, we don't want to bring them in, but let's make them like fun disguises so we can use these.
I was very happy about that. I do remember like seeing them get a poster, and I was like,
I think it comes from such a cute place.
I was dreading the worst when I saw them.
yes, I was like, we're not going to devote another 10 minutes to these two, are we? And like,
Oh, great, the honeymoon.
oh, great, the honeymooners. But like, although that actually makes sense, it needs to make less sense.
Yeah. No, I was kind of glad with the human stuff this time around, because usually it was like last time in Sonic 2, even though, I mean, obviously the wedding scene, you know, whatever. Every other human scene is quick, whatever. It pretty much just serves, like, I think someone, I don't remember who said it earlier, maybe it was Ian, said the characters are more like a home base for the Sonic cast, which I thought was actually a really good way to keep them
I
included.
think Pop said that. Yeah.
But like that's in Sonic 3. They're not like a home base anymore. They're someone they go to for help when they're in a pickle, which I think is really
Tiny
nice,
Tom.
because he's going to his parents. You know, he's like, hey, I need help, Mom, and it's really nice that they help. And then even more so, it's all cool action, and it all progresses the story instead of just being some random stupid bullshit.
And that's
Like,
the thing
you
as
know,
well, yeah, like Sonic and
like,
friends are
instead
present
of being
for
the
all
wedding
of it.
where it's like a halt to the story. Basically, this is like Tom and Maddie helping them sneak onto the Eclipse Cannon, because if they don't, the Earth is going to fucking explode.
It's also
and
a
it's like,
showcase for
okay.
Tails, like, because Tails gets to kind of coordinate them and
Tails
stuff.
is really good in that.
Yeah,
Tails
like,
is the one. Tails coming in and saving Sonic with the save at the last second genuinely did more for his character and like likability than to me like most of Sonic 2, because it really is so cool that he's coming up with all the plan. Sonic almost messes it up, and it's not like we cut to Tails to see him leaving. He just did it on his own and comes in with the clutch save, and it's like, oh, that's really cool, you know?
Yeah, and also just like Tails, yeah, in this movie he's a lot better, but also just like I thought the filmmaking around the London section was really fun too. Like there's that bit where they're coming up with the strategies, and you see like a tiny little Sonic get cut into little pieces, and then big Sonic and big Tails step in watching over London, just like, okay, bad idea. Like they're having so much fun with that. There's the bit where Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles are going through the plan, and then Knuckles like, break glass in case of emergency. It goes split screen, and so I was like, see, he gets it. I was like, that's so fun. Like that's fun. That is really fun.
The movie has an energy to it that I think the second movie doesn't. Like it has a flow to it. Like we're not just cutting away to things, you know.
I will say, I think 3, the worst enemy 3 has is that I think it's a little too fast paced this time. Like 1, I thought was actually very even. 1 was even, but to be honest, for the little it was balancing, I'd kind of be pissed off if it wasn't even. 2 was probably the most uneven, but like I still enjoy 2 more than I do 1, just because it's at least aiming higher. And then 3 is very fast. Like, there are certainly bits where we could sit around a little longer. However, there are at least scenes where the characters are talking and stuff. Also, Tiny Tom. Fucking Tiny Tom was a fun little addition. It gave Tom some character. It made him a dork, you know? And, like, seeing how bored they get when Sonic and the gang aren't around and stuff like that. Also, Tails gets a second hero moment when he tries...
They make, like ugly looking, like the ugly sweaters and shit.
Yeah, they did the Donut Lord sweater as well, and it's got the little donuts all sewn into it.
How is that not
he loves
merch?
his son.
He loves his son.
As my friend pointed out, I think Tom might be getting like a divorce, because him and Maddie do not seem to be getting along in this movie. Like he's just actively like always going against her and like just kind of being like a bit of a jerk. It's really weird.
Also looking at what's her name.
They couldn't possibly get into a divorce. I'm sorry, they're the healthiest couple
Oh
in
no,
Hollywood.
I don't mean that genuinely, but the energy it gives off is that their marriage is not happy.
Damn.
That's really sad. I didn't...
Sonic
Then-
ruined
You know
their
what? I'm gonna have to
marriage.
watch it again with that lens. I'm curious.
Yeah, that's actually.
Oh,
but
no.
if Sonic 4 has, oh no, if Sonic 4 had a divorce
Is
subplot,
there a
but
divorce in Sonic's future?
no, but I pray no, because here's the thing: is there's the one storyline I loathe the most in children's media is when mum and dad are getting a divorce and the kid goes and fixes it. Worst
Oh, yeah, they're not
story
gonna-
ever.
This is not sincere
They
at all.
gotta
It's
explain to
just they
Sonic that
wanted to do a
it's
few,
not
like-
you.
Yeah, they just want to do a
Sonic,
few
it actually
goofy
kind of
jokes
was your
with
fault.
the-
No, but imagine
Yeah,
if they had like a
actually,
divorce
yeah.
story, and imagine if like Tom and Maddie are going to get divorced, but then Sonic and Amy's little bond is what gets them together.
Okay.
Well, I'll give you the
I mean,
I'll give you the framing.
still
The framing
no.
is as such, which is that their kids are out of the house and they have nothing to do. They're like really bored and
They're
don't
like,
seem
we're
to be, like,
Sonic. We made real kids.
yeah, they're like they seem to be bored. They seem to be like, oh, we don't have anything to
That's
do.
horrible.
Gotta give us 9
Fuck
months.
you,
though.
Sonic.
The puppet he makes consistently keeps bad mouthing Maddie to the point it says like, oh well, I told him to get rid of you, and she like looks at him like, okay, Tom. And then later when he's like, oh yeah, you look way hotter as this other girl, and she gets really mad. It's like, dude, Tom, are you not happy? Like, what is going on?
Tom
That's
is kind of
actually- I
becoming a
don't
little
remember any of that.
sleazy.
That's actually really sad.
So put it this way,
that was
Tom-
the one thing I remembered. It was like, oh, something's up.
Tom in this movie
That's
is
crazy. What the fuck?
Tom in this movie is the worst. First, he disrespects his wife. Then he masquerades around as a black person. Then he masquerades around as a dead person and fakes his
masquerades as a
own
puppet.
being alive. He's
Did
the
General actually
worst.
die?
Yeah, Commander
Yeah,
Walters
he does
died.
die. He is
yeah.
dead.
No, that's
Oh,
fine. You know
damn.
what? He can masquerade as a dead person if he wants. I don't care. If it's him, whatever.
Oh no, that's right. Because when Kristen Ritter, that's her name. When
Yeah.
Kristen Ritter's character sees him, she's like, "Sir, I thought you were out of commission."
Yeah.
Like she looked kind of surprised, and I was like, "Oh, I'm just
I
seeing
think they'll
it
bring
now.
him back if people think he's funny, and they could just say like, "Oh, I got better." or
I mean,
whatever. But yeah, I think
Commander
they're-
I had
Walters is
clothes.
Commander Walters is one of the few human characters in this I could tolerate, even though I didn't like his scene in Sonic 2. I was like, well, he's a gun commander. Like, a gun commander doesn't really have much reason to not be here. Like, and I liked his
Oh, wait, he's
performance.
dead.
Also,
They could
Commander
bring in
Walters,
Abraham
though.
Tower.
Commander Walters also gets quite a glow up as the guy that tried to stop the shooter from killing Maria.
Yes, which is a
Oh.
very so that whole. I mean, we can go back to that as well, which is that so they changed a little bit of his backstory with Shadow, but again, for this movie, it actually elevates it. It is actually way better that it is not that some person just shoots Maria, because this movie isn't about just like, you know, the government is cruel and evil and the world is cruel and evil. It's specifically about how like Shadow and his powers and all those things kind of connect to his character, and the world is cruel and evil, and also like people make choices and stuff.
So
that
his
he's tied into.
energy, like the explosion of his
Yes.
energy killing her,
Yes.
he kind of blames himself, and then it's his energy used to power the Eclipse Cannon.
Well,
Perfect
and
sense.
Yes, that is perfect. But this is something really subtle they did, which I love, which is that. So you might be thinking, like, if you rewatch the movie, like, hey, when Gerald comes in and he says, like, guys, we got to go, why doesn't he just say, Shadow, let's teleport away, right? If he can just teleport. Or whenever they're running around the base and they're like, let's go up to the garden, why doesn't they just say, like, hey, Shadow, let's just teleport up to the garden? And this is never explicitly stated, but it's in the movie. In the flashbacks with Shadow, his eyes are like, I think they're brown, or like they're a lot muted of a color. And when he sees Maria die and he like comes to that conclusion, or whatever, his power awakens. And that is when he gets his like teleportation. That's whenever he gains all his chaos abilities way stronger. And even whenever he is, when they're using his power to run around the room, he runs up to the center of the room, like in the flashback. But then in modern day, when he gets angry and he unleashes that power, then he teleports up there and he starts running around the room. So Shadow's power, like literally his chaos abilities, why he's such a badass, is that they are literally factually fueled by rage and the death of Maria. That's why he has them, and that's why he's so cool. Like in the
Also-
movie, like that's why he has.
I also
Yeah.
find, like, I know that, like, a lot of people would say, like, maybe Maria getting killed by indirect explosion and a laser is less gnarly. But in a way, it's more gnarly, because Commander Walters tries to stop them
Yes,
and says,
yes, that's
what
what
are you
makes it
doing?
even-
Those are
even worse.
children. And he's like,
Yeah.
we've got our orders, and shoots anyway. That's way more gnarly.
Oh, yeah.
That's even,
That's insane.
that's even
Also,
darker.
they were never going to get away with having them directly hit the kid.
No, but like this is in
course
so
not.
many
Yeah.
ways, like they found a way
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
build on it, like, and that is so
Yeah,
cool.
they made it even better.
Same goes
It
for
was
like, you know, Shadows. Go on, Franken.
No, it was a nice way of going around the fact like, oh no, she was actually shot, and it was like, okay, this makes more sense.
And then also like Shadow's redemption as well, because in the original, like Amy obviously talks him out of it, but like it's mainly because Amy reminds him of Maria. It's not so much Amy being Amy, which is something that I would.
Remember, he had the wrong information.
Yeah, I would definitely, like, if I were to approach a Sonic Adventure 2 adaptation, build it more in that, like, Amy actually did get through to Shadow, rather than just, oh, she kind of reminds me of Maria. But with what the movie did...
It's like, oh, hey, people like Maria still exist. I think that's what I would try and hone in on. Not
also just... Like, the fact that it's like, you are the first person to not kick my ass for a minute. Like, I also kind of like that idea. But, like, also, I think, like, Ian Flynn has, in a way, retconned it that, like, Amy's hug probably meant something to Shadow, because he made Maria a tackle hugger in Sonic X Shadow Generations Dark Beginnings, in the same way that Amy is notoriously a tackle hugger. And so in that moment, when Amy tackle hugs Shadow, he was probably thinking of Maria in that moment. And then later on, when he saw her again, he was like, you are like Maria, aren't you? Like, people like you do still exist. I think that's something lovely that Ian Flynn has added to that lore. Getting back to kind of this, though, like, I love the fact that, like, the stars were a thing that Maria would talk about. And, like, how, you know, the stars we're seeing are dead, basically. Because, like, you know, the light... And this is all really cool science stuff as well. Like, this is, like, I think it's actually cool that some kids can come away with some new science facts after this movie.
It also ties Maria into a space motif, even if they're not actually in space.
Yeah, oh my god, imagine tying things to a space motif in a video game sequel, guys. Imagine!
They would never do that anywhere, in any game.
But also, just, like, Shadow kind of coming to that realization in a quiet moment when he and Sonic have finally stopped ripping each other's dicks off and are just looking at the stars, and he's like, fucking, you know, maybe what Maria was all about isn't gone and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I thought that was such
a metaphor.
Yeah, that was a love. And that shot where these two scrimbly gimblies are just sat on the moon while the sun rises over the planet. Oh, it's so... Like, I love the fact that this movie is taking these characters so seriously in this moment. There's no goofy joke here or anything like there could have been. And also just, the Super Sonic versus Super Shadow fight was so fucking cool. That bit where, like, Shadow has him pinned down against the mountain and Sonic launches off and you see it pushes the mountain. But he literally moves the mountain all the way that... Shadow, when he punches the emeralds out of Sonic, is so coordinated. He's doing it with, like, the lower part of his palm. It's so fucking awesome. Badass. Well, oh, god damn, it's so cool.
They do a good job of making Shadow just, like, a monster in this film, in terms of, like, how strong he is. Where you really do feel like, no, this guy could take Supersonic. like you really do buy it.
He could.
And it makes it, like, horrifying when he gets the emeralds and they split them. Also, real quick on Shadow, I want to say that, so one line that people talk about Keanu's performance, that they really like it, but they feel like some lines of his are stilted. I love the stiltedness. I think it really adds to the childhood nature of the character.
Yeah.
And there's one line he says that everyone always memes on, but I genuinely love it. I would not change it, which is the part where he's like, who was that guy again? Tom. And, like, the way he says it, I love, because he is not baiting Sonic. Like, that is not to bait Sonic. He is genuinely, like, upset by this because he feels like Sonic is betraying what he believes about himself. And so when he gets punched, he does not look at him like, this is what I wanted. He's like, oh shit, he's actually coming at me. And, like, I can't react.
I also loved on Valentine's Day posting, why are you alone? Where are your friends?
Where are your friends?
Yeah, it's an incredible line.
I do like the voice direction. Shadow's fun. I do like him a lot in this movie.
I remember even
he's a good time.
I kind of wanted a bit of that I'm the coolest energy, and we even got that. Like, I love the bit where, like, where Agent Stone is like, hey, come on, we'll make guac, and he's like, revenge guac. Because it's a gag. It's a gag, and it's meant to be kind of quotable, but it also plays into Shadow's kind of very one-track mind. The fact that he's so motivated that even the guac must be revenge guac.
It's adorable. And also the line where he is playing around with, like, Knuckles and them, where he's like, boo. So it's like, you know, trying to, like, freak him out or whatever.
Or when he's like, when he's commenting on the Spanish TV show as well.
Yes, which is legitimately, by the way, tied into his character, which is that obviously the only, like, female person in his life is Maria. So I do love that he's like, why are they fighting? Why is she doing this? She should just kill both of them. She's not a tool for them.
Yeah, I liked it because I know everyone else liked it because he loves Latinas and he's watching the TV show and he's defending a beautiful Latina woman. But, like, I love that scene because he's just talking so rationally in that moment, but still puts a little Shadow twist on it at the end. And it showcases a more calm, laid-back side to Shadow that clearly does actually recognize human beings' worth in that moment, despite the fact that he's going to destroy the world. I like how Agent Stone tries to warn Dr. Robotnik, and Robotnik doesn't, listen. And also just all the development that happens with Robotnik. That fucking scene, where Gerald says to him, "Oh, Ivo, you're no Maria."
No, Maria.
It's so weird because Robotnik is a bastard in these movies. An absolute bastard. Yeah. But in that moment, I was genuinely like, I don't think he deserved that.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, no, and so I know people have mixed feelings on Gerald Robotnik. Again, don't give a shit if it's accurate. I think this version of the character is really, really interesting, and I think the only parts of him, because what I love is that they recontextualize all the wacky things he's did as being malicious. Like obviously he's crazy, and he's still being a little wacky in the finale. And there are lines in that I don't enjoy too much, but like all the stuff of like him dancing with Robotnik or like doing like some of his like wordplay that he does with Robotnik, all of that genuinely was to manipulate him. And at the end of the day, like I think the one shot that really like sells this Robotnik to me is when it's in the flashback, and every time we show any flashbacks with Gerald or Shadow and Maria and stuff, they get very clear they don't want to show Gerald's face, so we never actually get to see what is he like before he went crazy. The only moment we get to see of him is the moment he broke, which is when he looks up and they like give him the excellent makeup for Jim Carrey and stuff, and just one look at Shadow of like just the horror that his like granddaughter has died, and that is the most human moment we get for the character. And then everything after that has been his descent, his madness, and all that stuff.
It's just funny how fucking old he is in the flashbacks, and they're 50 years ago.
Oh yeah, which I mean, obviously the reason
it's
I think
a cartoon.
Well, no, he's living off the quill is the idea. But yeah, which they show a little bit of, and they even had like a scene prepared where like his like skin was gonna like not skin regrow, but like his veins would like go back into his body. And
I think they should have left that in though, because I don't think it's the clearest thing in the world. It's an easy piece of trivia you can point to. But it's
I think it's funny. I think it's funny that it's up in the air and that it could just be that it's a cartoon. But I do like that as an option. You know,
like this is the thing as well.
I'm 150 years old, my boy. Oh,
this film was even more confident with that zany humor as well. Like, there's a lot of like the jokes between the two Jims where he's like, it's like we're two characters in a movie played by the same actor. And I was like, okay, in this context, I'm allowing that. But God, you're some thin ice here, but that's really funny. Like,
oh yeah, well, especially since they commit to the bit so hard that I think that adds to it.
If they didn't commit to it, then it would not hit the same.
Every act of this movie has lots to look forward to as well. There's no dull act like there is with like Sonic 2 or Sonic 1, where there's like, okay, I could probably skip this bit. Like, I think like the opening of the movie, the first act, you've got like the shadow fight in Tokyo. You've got the team up with Robotnik, which was a really fun scene of them just skulking around this old facility. Really cool scene. And then like all the stuff in London is really fun. And then everything in space is the absolute best stuff that I think this series has to offer.
Because the final act is genuinely like incredible. Like it always stands up every time I look at it. Like it's so strong.
I didn't know how hard they would lean into that aspect, and that was something I was concerned about. When I first saw a glimpse of what we all assumed was the space colony arc launching out of the Thames, I was like, well, that baby little thing, that little chocolate button there is going to be the space colony arc, is it? That little thing that it doesn't even have a moustache on it. It's pathetic. And then I remember seeing it rising in the mirror. I was like, okay, it's shot well. It's shot really well. And then you see the moustache thing open. I was like, oh, there it is. There we go. We got it. We got ourselves our Eclipse cannon. And it has these little legs come out of it. And it just looks really creepy looking at a distance. Like there's those bits where like, you could see Sonic and Shadow, like, in their super forms flying into frame just before they fight all these gun robots. And you see the Earth beneath them, and you see the Ark just looming over the Earth like that. So cool. So fucking
it
awesome.
genuinely feels very threatening, and it feels really satisfying when Robotnik, realizes that there is something to fight for. It's so fucking good. That final, like, I do think that there are some moments that sort of take me out of my engagement with the first two acts. Like, I really don't care about the little chase scene with like Stone, where he's on the bike, and it's like I like Stone, but I really don't think this action scene is that interesting. There's a few moments where, like, for example, like when they have Shadow in the pod, where I do think they undermine the tension a little bit, where like you have the gun soldier come in, and instead of just being like, what is that thing, it's like blah blah blah, he's just like, oh, you ate all the donuts, Carl. And it's like, okay, we can tone
To
this
be
back,
fair,
please.
I thought that was the movie kind of signaling the tone of the previous movie before going into the new tone. I thought that was
That's
like
fair.
a
That's fair if
false
that
sense of
works.
security kind of thing. It was like, hey, we've had this dumb humor. Here's a little, oh shit, Shadow's here. And the tone changes.
Yeah,
and
we're doing the funny joke, the funny silly bit that might have been in the Knuckles show or something, and then they cut
And
to
it gets
Shadow
real.
killing
as soon as
thousands.
Shadow's out, like...
Wow!
And then
Yeah,
you hear,
that's
like, the live and learn motif. And I still look back as well on, like, the title cards of these movies. Because, like, the Sonic 1 title card has that Junkie XL Sonic theme. And it's shit. Sorry, it just is. I love Junkie XL as a composer, but his Sonic work is fucking terrible. The Sonic 2 one, the same fucking thing. But the Sonic 3 one... it's the live and learn motif. Like, oh, here we fucking go. All right.
It
yes.
sets you in motion so well. Yeah, and again, these little moments are not even close to as distracting as the second movie. It's just one of those things where the third act is so good that there are parts where I'm like, all right, like we could speed run the London scene a little bit, but I'm having fun. It's fine. So I think it's just one of those things where it's a bit more lopsided, but it's not lopsided in like there's good stuff and shit stuff. It's more like there's amazing, great stuff, good stuff throughout. And then there's a few moments where I'm like, yeah, okay, like move it on a little bit faster. But again, not a big deal.
Like, I guess kind of wrapping up a little bit, I guess, is like, I think, like, it's that asterisk thing of the games, isn't it? There's always that little monkey's paw and stuff. And I think that first movie is a very well-constructed movie. The monkey's paw being that it doesn't really have as much to do with Sonic as I'd like. The second movie is much more what I want, but it has the monkey's paw of kind of a lower script quality in parts, I guess. I think that's a fair shake. Sonic 3, on the other hand, I think, like, while it does have some oversights here and there, I think it is just a fantastic family action blockbuster. Just across the board. Yeah. Like, it nails, like, what it sets out to do. The action beats are the best they've ever been. The music's the best it's ever been, which goes such a long way. I still think we can go further, but, like, what we had went a long way.
And Shadow is guiding you through the whole movie. He's always great.
Shadow, yeah, his whole screen time, everything he does is excellent. I remember back in the day...
They don't skimp out on Shadow.
When it was kind of rumored that, like, the top 3 picks could be Keanu Reeves, Hayden Christensen, or Robert Pattinson, I'm not going to lie, back then, Keanu Reeves was my least favorite choice of the 3. I thought it'd be quite a dull choice. But I gotta say, absolutely loved him in the role. Like, you know, his voice is just perfect for it. I loved the idea of Hayden Christensen because he sounds more like David Humphrey, and I loved the idea of Robert Pattinson because he's more like Jason Griffith. But I feel like we got something brand new with Keanu Reeves, and it just sounded really great. Kristen Ritter was wasted. She should have been like a Rouge or something. Like,
she could have been Shadow.
What are you...
Interesting choice. I like it.
I mean, she probably would have put more effort into the Sonic X Shadow Generations DLC.
You know that, like, they
probably paid him like $12 for that.
No, they probably like mugged him in a room, like whenever, like they told him, like, all right, Sega executives, he's recording on this day in Paramount. If you like just come in at the last second and say like, hey man, could you just record some grunts real fast? He'll probably do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or hell, maybe that's just like leftover. Not all of it.
Or it's like, oh hey, we have these extra lines. We might use them in the film.
Leftover grunts.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the amount of from Knuckles.
And I guess I'll say the last thing that I love about the movie is obviously we love the finale, love the heart of it. Sonic is quite strong. I do think he's the strongest in the first movie as far as a consistent character. But again, his highs in this movie are so excellent, especially in that last act. I do think some of his jokes are a little annoying, but whatever. I'll move on. But the big thing for this movie that, again, I like before the movie came out, I was like, please get this right because I had rewatched the first 2, is Robotnik. And Robotnik has never been better. He has the craziness of the second movie, but also he has the heart and the detail to his character about like hating humanity and like not wanting connection, but deep down he actually does want connection, and he finds that in his grandfather, but it's actually fake, and then he tosses aside the one connection that he could have had, and the ultimate sacrifice he makes for that. It's just so perfect. It's such a perfect send-off for his character. He's way funnier in this. His disheveled kind of like broken look is so engaging and interesting, and yeah. And then whenever he gets the Eggman look, I know we don't really like the wiring on it, but I think for most shots you can't even notice it. I think it looks quite good.
Like that's one thing I will say is like that suit looks better in the movie than it does in the photographs. The thing I'll say though is, if my compliment for a detail is you hardly even notice it under the right lighting, it probably shouldn't be there.
Oh yeah, but execution's everything, so it is quite good that they
yeah,
work through it, but,
I'm just saying, like, if they're bringing him back and they bring back the outfit, which I think they should, get the fuck rid of all of that. It's terrible.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then no, just I mean the whole climax of Shadow sacrificing himself, Robotnik sacrificing themselves. It's just the perfect send off for those characters. Obviously, they're both going to come back in some form or fashion. But for this movie and just like how much it really commits to the idea of death in a really like enjoyable way for like the sacrifices of the characters and what they're going for and what it means that the whole message they have is like it's never too late to make the right choice. And I just think that's such a really nice message, because regardless because it doesn't really put the onus on like, well, you can always forgive someone can always become good. It's more that if you are a bad person, or if you are someone who's making the wrong decision or whatever, you could just make the right one. You could just do something good, and I just think that's such a really nice lesson. So
you can make a promise.
I know there was like obviously with all the movies there's always something cut from it. One thing that kind of did seem like it came out of nowhere was like Robotnik doing like the live streaming thing.
Yes, because they cut his entire subplot from it, which I am so happy. Those deleted scenes are awful. They would have absolutely ruined his character.
Yeah, they're kind of cringe.
Oh man,
it's
like,
he's like
cringe.
It's like streamer jokes. To be honest, yeah.
I could have laughed a little bit, like maybe once, but I think upon rewatch, I probably would have been like, "Oh fuck!" Like this. part.
Well, they also take out the idea of just like that they're being even slightly discreet about anything, like they're just like, hey, we're about to break into the base. Come, sign my whatever way.
I feel like they already set the rules in terms of whether or not Robotnik can come back in this movie, because originally there was a deleted scene that would explain how Agent Stone recovered Dr. Robotnik and how he kind of like nursed him back to health by lactating into his mouth and shit. And like,
you know what? I didn't see that deleted scene.
They cut that, but I feel like what they were doing was setting us up for Sonic 4, in that it's like, look, there's no explanation as to why he's back. He just is, all right? Like, he's back because
he's a cartoon. It's fine.
He's Dr. Robotnik. You can't.
Oh man,
stop
wait a
Dr.
minute.
Robotnik.
I think I might have just figured it out.
Okay.
I think I know how he's gonna come back. I think if it is indeed the same Robotnik, and they want him to be a villain again, the the Eclipse Cannon explosion, all of that chaos energy and all that shit didn't kill him.
Oh yeah,
it
probably
sent him
teleported, right?
either to another dimension or the far future, and he's been there for years and years and years. So any development he's had recently can just be like waved off by that. Like he's been gone for like 30 years or some shit, and he's immortal now. So like he's just a bastard now. Maybe he's mechanical. Like
I really do think it is just as simple as you can. I mean, because I do think there are good ways to keep it as the same Robotnik, but it really just would be as simple to just say it's a different Robotnik. He has the same backstory, and he's just evil.
Lazy.
That's not lame, because that keeps the integrity of the original character.
No, he said lazy. I think he said lazy.
It makes him less important because he's just a precursor. But here's my idea. Here's how I would want to do it. Have a flashback to the end where he blows up, right? And show him being
floating
turned. No. He's in the explosion, and you see his skin leave his body. He's a skeleton now, right? And he's like, no, but there's so much to do. And so his skeleton hand just grabs a clump of his skin and just puts it back on his face, pops his eyeballs and shit back down, because the man is too fucking stubborn to die.
That's so fucking horrifying, but I love it. That's really
like, so you just see him as a skeleton float, like, no way.
That's some dry Bowser shit.
Yeah, but then he's just putting his skin back on himself.
Yeah. Like the visual of him just as a human skeleton, just a full human skeleton walking around, just being like,
would be really funny.
It's a little breezy today, isn't it?
Although, you know what would actually be funny is if in Sonic Movie 4 they just make it part of Robotnik's design that he's just exposed muscle and skeleton, but he has no skin. And, like, you can see, like, he has no eyelids left either, so his eyeballs just bulge out, and he's like, Sonic, do you have any idea how much fucking pain I'm in?
Yeah, but you're really smart, right?
Ah! He's just screaming.
Starts screaming.
Sonic, do you
cuts
have any
away.
aloe vera?
I'm feeling a little tender. I'm going
He's
to
got no
roll
skin
around in... Agent Stone, can you make me a salt bath, please?
Oh, God. Ooh. Pain.
Or maybe he's like a head
Anyway.
in a jar for most of the movie, but he gets like a robot body later.
It's kind of funny. I survived, Hedgehog. And they're like, yeah, but not by much, it looks like. And he's just a talking head in a jar.
I remember one of the early rumors for Sonic 3 being that the opening scene would be Robotnik in hell escaping. And I'm like, it's actually an amazing idea. I kind of love that.
If he just fought his way out of hell and came back to Sonic's house, I think Sonic would be like, I don't know what to do about this anymore.
But
Like,
I want
we
it.
need to contact someone
But
about this.
I want it filmed like it's a Patchy the Pirate segment from SpongeBob.
Oh yeah. Well, I would
That's
want
a
it to be
great
that he's
story.
like, of course I escaped. Like I'm so smart, and then it cuts to it. He's like, "What's that?" And then just runs away.
He leaves hell just by walking away.
You could have
Yeah, he just, like,
Iblis. You could have Puppet Iblis down there, and just like, "Hey, what's that? What?" And he just leaves. Or he teaches Iblis about Facebook Marketplace, and he gets so distracted browsing that Robotnik just has an easy way out.
That's so funny. That's such a funny way to use something I hate so much.
Have you ever heard of Facebook Marketplace? What's that?
And he gets addicted to it. He starts getting packages every day.
Oh, that's some freaking. Wait, where did that bald guy go? Oh, jeez. Oh man, I'm in so much trouble. And then maybe
What do
you
you
could
mean
have.
he's in trouble? He's in charge.
No, because he has to answer to Mephiles, and we set that up later.
Oh.
And Mephiles can be a man in
That's-
a costume as well, who just like dances.
Okay,
and
actually, you know what? I have a pitch. So you know how in Pirates of the Caribbean 3, they go into like Davy Jones' locker or purgatory or hell or whatever to go get Jack Sparrow's soul.
Yeah.
Do that for Robotnik.
Yeah, and
Have
store
it in,
down
like,
on
the
Let's go get
Hydro
his
City.
soul, and we have to get his soul back from Mephiles because he's the only one who can stop the future evil Robotnik.
You know what would actually be amazing is if Sonic 4 opens up with Robotnik being dangled over a pit of lava by Iblis, and Robotnik's just like ah the whole time. But then Metal Sonic rides in, kicks fucking Iblis in the face, and rescues
hell,
Robotnik
that's awesome.
from literal hell. And that's how we set up Metal Sonic. Is he's literally capable of bringing Robotnik back from the afterlife.
That would
That would
actually
be a
that would go as
sick
far as to
introduction.
establish him much faster than Shadow as being a very powerful foe. I think that'd be a very good way to show that.
It's like, showing someone kill someone isn't even that impressive. Showing someone bring someone back, now that's pretty wild. And then Robotnik could be like, I gave you life, son, and now you've given me mine back. Oh, I love you. And he kisses him a few times on his little metal head, and he's like, you're so cold.
based.
The heat down there was giving me hemorrhoids.
I want this version of Robotnik and Metal Sonic in the movie.
Let me write Sonic 4, guys. Look, it's not too late. I'd have so much fun.
You've got a year to put it together.
I think not even like
They're
they-
already
I
on
can
it
do it.
anyway.
Like, it would be good for me.
I'll write it
I'd have
today.
fun.
Yeah.
They're already on it, and the thing
Have
is, I'm
all
not
of
gonna
us.
lie.
We'll write it for you, yeah.
The writers they've got now, I trust them. Like, I think they've clearly got a good deal of respect for the source material.
Well, we can only hope with Amy. We'll see what happens, but if they,
That's when she comes in, like, "Come on, boys, we're gonna go get Bowser now. I mean, shit, we're gonna get Robotnik. God, you boys are so silly."
All I care about is I do genuinely think, because I'm not even like, I'm Sonic Sally forever, guys. I don't even care about Sonic Amy. It's fine. They have to have her fall in love with Sonic in some way. It doesn't have to be like she's a fangirl, but she, by the end, let's not cower it out, needs to be into Sonic. Like, if you don't do that, then what are you doing? Like, I'm sorry.
I think she'll be into Sonic from the get-go. I reckon she'll be trying to be kind of a badass 1 minute, but constantly like trip over
You think?
herself.
I got a
I'm-
great dynamic for you. All right, what if Sonic and Amy dynamic in movie 4 is the second they first see each other, independently, they don't realize it. Independently, Sonic sees Amy for the first time, and you hear like the dream weaver, you know, and then
that's
it cuts to
cliche.
Amy's perspective, and she goes, "Who is that?" And then she looks at him, and it goes, "Dream weaver," and then it's like the same thing. but then they both play it cool in front of each other to pretend that they're not into each other. And then
Oh yeah, I think it'd be funny
eventually
if they were like, "He's so
they
cool, he'll
are.
never notice me. She's so cool, she'll never notice me." Damn it!
like she's way too cool. She's like a time traveling like warrior from the future. She could not be into it. Just a dumb little bitch like me.
I mean, that's the thing.
And then,
Also, like when you look at like movie Sonic next to Shadow, like logically, who's Amy actually going to have a crush on here? Like one of these guys is much more handsy boy than the other. Sonic is mid compared to Shadow from an aesthetic standpoint, which is funny because he still has one of the best designs in gaming. But like when you think about like what would a hedgehog girl like? Would she like dark fluffy with like
I don't know.
the highlights, or would she like just the blue guy, the little Gumby fella? Like which one's she gonna go for here? Like,
I mean,
Sonic's funny,
this is why they've said it. You know, Sonic could use a redesign.
For the
put a little,
the
put a
movies
little
are where they
sports
redesign
tape
him,
on him,
just make him
add a little scarf to his neck, and I think
they
it's pretty
redesigned
badass.
Sonic in the games next time, and he's just Shadow, but they never call attention to it.
Well, no, I was going for the one pitch that got all the fans mad.
Oh, that like little guy where he's the little.
Oh, the
fella
little guy with the
little button eyes.
backpack. Yeah, the little guy.
Yeah.
Me, Sonic Lad.
That's cute for like a dream sequence where he's thinking about being like an adventurer, I would say.
Dude, I've done a video on that pitch, and like I just kind of
reference
like
that actually would be kind of cool.
I discussed it quite extensively because I think people are very mean to the guy that made that, and I don't think that's cool.
Oh yeah,
It's a
that's not
super
fair.
well-made pitch video as well. There's a few oversights.
You could
here and
dislike
there,
it.
but-
No, it's absolutely well made.
Yeah.
Like that, you could dislike the ideas he's giving, but I don't think it was poorly made.
The
It's just
reason
I don't think
people-
he had a good grasp on Sonic or why people
No,
like Sonic
yeah,
as a whole.
Yeah,
He
he at
very
least didn't
clearly was
display
satisfied.
one there. But like, what I will say is like, I think the reason people reacted as viscerally as they did, as viciously, because that's the thing is you could see someone go, patooey to that, no thank you, without being like, hey, you motherfucker, you are a threat to this thing that I like, and
You're
you
reacting to
must
this
die.
thing.
Like, it is like the
Pretty
reason.
accurate.
The reason they got that snarling reaction from the fans is because it felt real. It's because it was so well presented that it felt feasible. Which is
Well,
what a
also,
good
when
pitch should
did
do.
that come out? Was that like late 2010s or
It
whatever?
was like 2014, I think.
Oh yeah, so we were
Yeah,
in a dark
it was
time,
somewhere
so I
around
think it also felt like, wait, what if Sega listens to it?
Yeah, I think people panicked. I think that's the biggest issue. But when I look at that now, I'm just like, I love how this is presented because I feel like I actually get an impression of what this game would have been. And it's a really cool Rayman game. It's a really cool fucking Rayman game. But
Well, he's just so earnest about it too, where he's like, I really want to help Sonic, and people are like, stay away.
he meant well. The thing is, if you look at like some of his other Sonic stuff since then, like he's clearly a Sonic fan, like, and he does get it. But it's just like his reboot pitch didn't demonstrate enough understanding of it. It's too far.
Just
yeah.
like realistic Sonic was not what we needed, but
Yeah,
you know,
like,
Jeff
this
Fowler
is-
thought it was good, and then he
this-
went, oh, oopsies, my bad.
This is a lovely thing because there does tend to be a bit of an anti-second chances thing in the industry. But Jeff Fowler, he had two visions for Sonic. He had vision number one, which was a bit wank. But then he went back to the drawing board and he made it right. And now he's become an integral part of these movies' success. So, like, second chances, guys. Second chances for real. You know how it is.
He just has a lot of good humility, at least when, at least as far as I know on screen anyway. Whenever he talks about it, when people interview him, he doesn't get like embarrassed about it. He's like, hey, I genuinely thought this was a good idea, and obviously fans weren't receptive to it,
No
so we
matter
changed it, and now
who's-
we're here. So I couldn't have asked for anything better,
Yeah, no matter who's like, there's numerous people he could probably pass the buck off to, but he's taken ownership of that, and I respect that. I think it also helps that he's a younger guy in Hollywood, like as far as like a lot of other
Yeah.
directors go, and like there's a lot of younger people that had access to therapy and shit, and so therefore we budge on things a bit more than older people do.
I'm also more willing to believe that he is just a really nice guy because he's a nobody. Like if you're working with like Christopher Nolan.
Yeah,
Well, no, and I
word
mean
it
that,
that way.
I mean that in a positive way. If you're working with Christopher Nolan and like Jim Carrey says like Christopher Nolan's such a nice guy, well, of course you're gonna say that about Christopher Nolan. He's Christopher Nolan. But like Jeff Fowler's a nobody. So like whenever they ask Jim Carrey and he says, "Oh, I love Jeff Fowler. I have never heard that man raise his voice. He is always so kind, and I just genuinely love being around him." Like you believe it because
He's
it's like, well,
gained-
yeah, no one,
like
no-
he's
no one's gonna be
clearly-
like, well, I have to be nice about Jeff Fowler,
He's clearly gained the respect of a lot of very big people in the industry, and people clearly like working on his studios.
Yeah.
Like, it's why, like, things like, God, can you imagine, like, fucking Ben Kingsley working on a Sonic movie in the past? Yet, I think people are enjoying working with Jeff Fowler. The fact that like maybe he's returned as Robotnik as many times as he has can be attributed to a positive working environment. Like so. Everything I hear about kind of the production of these movies, like say what you will about Paramount as a studio. Obviously, there's a lot to say there, but like for the Sonic movie production crew, it seems like they do have a pretty good like batch together there. So yeah. How we
the most respect I'll give to Jeff, not most respect I'll give, the most thing that made me be like, oh wow, this guy really gets it, is when someone asked him, hey, are you gonna do anything with Black Doom? And rather than like scoff at it or just like even just be like, oh, maybe next movie, he gave an actual full answer, which is he said, the Black Comet is a really cool piece of imagery, and you could use that for some really interesting story beats. But for this movie, we didn't want to do that because we wanted to hone in on some other things. But no, Black Doom is an interesting character. Or he didn't say, he just said Black Doom has a lot of potential for a movie. We just don't do it this time. It's like he actually gave a real answer of like, oh, like there's some cool iconography you could use.
Not a lot of people. A lot of people are like guarded about it. They're like, "Wow, I can't say too much, or else the network will put me on a stick and like kill me with the stick again after I'm already near the stick."
Another thing is also like there's like so many like studios and stuff. Like I mean, for example, like Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I think there's a quote from the script writer or maybe it's the director. I don't know, where he says, "Look, the one thing I won't budge on is MODOK. I refuse to take that character seriously. There's no way you can take that character seriously." And like to that, I'm just like, skill issue. Skill issue.
Try harder.
Like, just maybe try and make him like he's a giant fucking body horror head in a jar. Like that, you can take that seriously. He might look a little silly on paper, but you can, you could take a silly design and make it scary. Like you don't even have to change it. You can, it's just how you present it, how you direct it, how you light it. But before we kind of go off into, I guess, just the semantics of filmmaking, shall we move on to super chats?
Yeah.
All right, we'll do it in Paul. Go on.
Really quick, I'm surprised we didn't talk about like the theme songs for. Well, I mean, we did talk about Speed Me Up, but we didn't talk about the ones for 2 and 3.
All right then.
I like 2. Stars in the Sky is a nice song.
Stars in the Sky is the best of the 3, easily. Like,
I don't even remember the third one. What was the third one?
Run It.
That was
Jelly
the
Roll.
one from what's his name?
Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't even have
whatever his name is.
I swear I wasn't happy to meet Trump guy. That I swear it was just the fact he's the president was very exciting to me, guy. Yeah, Jelly Roll's a little ambiguous in terms of that kind of stuff. But
I don't remember any of the songs, so I have no opinion.
So
I don't think.
Yeah, ranking them, I'd say I think Run It is still a more enjoyable song personally than Speed Me Up. But Stars in the Sky is the clear winner. It's not that hard to do. Yeah, I know, but Stars in the Sky is like the clear winner. Jelly Roll, he was a fucking also ran in that movie. Like, Sega, not Sega, Paramount were like, oh yeah, Jelly Roll, Run It, the theme of Sonic 3, and everyone was just collectively like, nah, Live and Learn is the theme of Sonic 3.
You know what? I'm just going to say this. I'm going to put The Warrior over Run It.
What? But The Warrior doesn't count because it wasn't made for it.
I do not care. It is the one thing I will give that show.
I still give The Flames of Disaster a pass. That's a good song. And that was made for the show.
Sure, why not?
Michael Bolton.
Again, rock opera should have just been all puppets. The entire thing. All practical effects.
I mean, the whole show should have been puppets. The entire show, puppets and practical effects.
Okay, that... Actually, yeah, that'd probably be a lot cheaper to produce.
It would be so sick as well, because puppets are cool.
People would have taken it a lot less seriously, too. They probably would have been like, oh, this is just a fun little thing.
Yeah, really also, Wanda Whipple randomly stabbing Wade would probably be a little easier to watch.
I mean, you don't need to fall back on the Whipples now, because it's all puppets. Doesn't fucking matter. Like, go put Sonic in it.
Wade Whipple puppet's really funny, though.
We don't need Wade for Puppet Knuckles!
They can complain about Maddie together with Tom Puppet and talk about the divorce.
No more divorce. All right, okay. Let's go on to the super chat mailbag now. We're gonna do it in.
You guys, I'll be back. I gotta use the restroom.
Okay, go use the restroom then.
I've been holding it for the last 30 minutes because I didn't want to be rude.
No, we're doing a bit here.
Well, I'll be back in a bit.
While he goes and shits rainbows, Dylan, why don't you lead us in with Mr. Krabs 459, Borker?
Oh boy, won't I? Mr. Krabs 459, $1.99. No Wario time, y'all, but it's Whisper time Friday. All right. No
Heck
Wario
yeah.
this week. Okay.
No worry,
worries.
this week it's only Whisper Time Friday. Should that be Whisper Wednesday?
But it's Friday.
Yeah, well then it's not Whisper Day. Simple as, bitch. All right, next one. Borger. It be my time to read now with Lacan222. Thank you, Lacan. Wait, what are we doing? This table order or thingy? Table, fuck it.
You know what,
whatever
man?
we
Do it
want.
however you want.
We'll do a table order. Lacan222 sends the 2 Brazilian reals. Thank you, Lacan222. Happy Easter and lots of chocolate for y'all. I got an egg. I got a chocolate orange egg.
Keep forgetting Easter.
Heck yeah.
Sorry, Jesus.
I just like chocolate. But others have real reasons to celebrate Easter. Okay. Next super chat. Burger. Well, since Frank isn't back yet because he's still shitting, Ian, would you like to take this one?
Sure. How'd you say Lacaon?
I got it down as Lacaon, but like I don't know for sure.
Lacaon 222 for the 2 Brazilian Reals. Thank you. Movie 1 would be better with some Sonic music. I agree. For sure.
Actually, no. You expected amazing music. It's just a kids movie.
It's just a baby movie.
It's just a Sonic movie. What did you expect?
No, thank you, Lakeo222. Okay, Dylan, you're up again, Borger.
We have KB with the $9.99. The Sonic movies taking things slow when it comes to adapting from the games in favor of having a solid story really paid off in hindsight.
In the end,
Yeah,
it
it felt
did.
slow at the moment, but
I got very impatient in the time between 2 and 3 to just see this kind of open up and stuff. But I mean, fuck it, we're getting Amy in the next movie. As far as I'm concerned, we got everybody I need now. Like, I'd still be happy to see
it. Genuinely, it paid off. Yeah,
I still really want to see like Silver and shit, but it's like my must-see characters are Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, Amy. Like, you gotta have.
There's no question. They'll do it.
Yeah. So I'm very at ease. Like, again, I am the least. Like, there's the least caution in my optimism for Sonic 4 of any Sonic movie. So hell yeah. All right. Well, next up, Burger. Is me with Joe Madre 3902. Thank you, Joe Madre, with the $10. Thank you. The difference between Sonic 1 and the others is that it's a generic weird creature teams up with the normal guy movie, feats Sonic, while the others embrace the fact that they're Sonic the Hedgehog movies. And I do feel that. Like, I do actually even agree with that. But, like, at the end of the day, I think, especially like in Ian's case, the quality of the movie ultimately overrides the content of it. And that is a mentality that I fully approach lots and lots of movies with. It's why I'd acknowledge the flaws of Sonic 2, but still find the movie to be enough for me to call really good, in my opinion. But, like, yeah. Like, I think it's about a balance. Get a balance between a good Sonic movie and a good movie. And those two things don't even have to work against each other, you know? Like, I think Sonic 3 proved that.
Yeah, absolutely. But it exists, and I just like to appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah. Thank you for the insight, Joe Madre. Okay, next up. Because Frank's not back yet, Ian Burger.
Mr. Terry Chaos for the 2 European dollar euros.
Are you serious? Are you
My brain
those are pounds.
For a sec.
Those are pounds.
The pound. Release the ugly.
The way I remember it, Ian. The way I remember it is, since it sort of looks like an E, it's not euros because fuck you. It's
well,
pounds.
no, but the euro sign looks like an E too.
Well, I don't look at that one as nearly as much.
It's
I see
just,
this one, that's
it's
how
just
I
like an
figured it out.
E in a different font. Anyway, let me find the Euro series. Euro symbol.
Eat my ass.
Why would I do that? You don't have one. Alright, check the bounce back. That's the Euro symbol.
Oh.
Yeah, see, I think we should just have a worldwide currency called credits, and that's it.
I agree. We could call them creds, for sure.
Yeah, I'd be like, bro, where are my creds, dude?
And if
Hand
you
them
run out, like the richest person in the world has to
kill
give you some more. Oh, I had a better. I feel like I had a better idea than that.
No, I like your idea better.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Borker. Dylan. Wait, is it Dylan's turn?
I'm back, better than ever.
Wait, no, wait. Ian, did you read Mr. Terry Chaos's one out?
Ye-
Before you got pile-drived about currencies.
No, yeah, I said release the ugly cut Sega, you cowards. I said that.
Okay,
We just didn't
perfect.
react to it, I think.
Do
Perfect. All right. Mr. Terry Chaos actually is our latest patron in the $1 tier as well. So thank you to Mr. Terry Chaos for being, as always, a supporter and, of course, for being a pal. And that doesn't apply to everyone that joins the Patreon. Me and Terry are just friends.
I was gonna say, but not in a parasocial way. But I
yeah,
guess
like
in a
no,
real way.
if you donate $1
It is in a
a month,
parasocial way.
I mean, there's no amount
You
of
have to be our
money.
friends.
There's no amount of money you can send me that will make me your best friend. But like, if you're cool, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
Except,
if you're cool, it's all.
I mean, not even if you're cool. Like, to be honest, like some people are really cool, but I just won't be friends with them because I just don't think that's a good idea.
They're too cool.
It's a whole creator thing. Kind of have to draw the line.
Yeah, it depends what kind of capacity you kind of meet in, you know, like, but like, yeah, the next one, Borger. But like, yeah, never ever send me money hoping I'll be your friend. I won't. So, Mr. SP, wait, shall we just, Frank? Why don't you read out that next one, you shithead? How was your poo?
Huh?
How was your poo? Did you have a nice poo?
That was so
Heavy.
needlessly aggressive.
It's so mean.
All right.
All right, fine. Mr. SP with the 403 US. For Sonic 1, we were just glad it wasn't a disaster.
This is true as well. There was that definite, like, this could have been shit factor. And also, the 403 is very funny because it is April the 3rd.
No.
You just noticed it?
That's
You
his
just
thing.
noticed it?
That's his thing.
I
That's
didn't
what he
get why
does.
it was 403 because I'm hungry.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
was
exactly.
Like,
I was
like,
saying
wait,
it. I was
Pup,
saying
you
it
haven't
for. I was
noticed
saying
this?
it for Dylan's sake. Yeah.
Sure,
Like,
sure. I mean, but like,
I'm just a
it would have been
stupid
great to
little
have
baby.
Gangsta's Paradise as the theme song.
All right, next one, Borger. Ian, why don't you do this next one, and we'll just go in call order this time.
Yeah, Mr. Cherry Chaos for £2. I almost said euros.
Hey.
What video game IP was adapted best to TV/movie?
Sonic Adventure 2. I'm biased, but Sonic Adventure 2.
IP, not video game.
It says video
One
game
Piece.
IP. Oh, then
Yeah.
Sonic.
Yeah, because I wasn't gonna.
Because I'm biased.
I guess Sonic.
Actually,
think
no,
of any other.
Spider-Man. There you go. Spider-Man's technically kind of a video game IP.
IP.
Yeah, he technically is, though, isn't he? Like, when you think about it.
No, he's not. He's
In a-
a comic
no.
character
He's that in addition to sauce.
to the sauce.
In addition
No,
to
he's a comic.
Spider-Man.
He's a
Well, that
comic
one
book
is Scott
character,
Pilgrim
and then a
was,
movie
that's fine.
character, and then lastly a.
Right, you know what? I refuse to
video game
engage with Mr. Terry Chaos's question any further. Thank you for your generosity, Mr. Terry Chaos.
Thank you,
Well,
friend.
I give my exact same logic that Pup just gave to say One Piece is the best live action adaptation ever
I was
made.
gonna say you just choose anything at that point if it had a video game.
Wait, was One Piece a video game originally? No, it
It's had a
wasn't.
billion video games.
No,
Yeah, but it
it's
wasn't
been- it
a
started as
video.
manga.
It's not a video game IP, then, is it? You can't
That
tell
is
me I
not a
can't
video
have.
game IP.
You can't tell me I can't have
I literally
Spider-Man, but
just
then
said I was
bring up
gonna go
one.
with your logic. I'm
No,
on
but
your
that's
side.
great. No,
Why are
that's
you yelling
great.
at me?
Okay. You know what? I'm actually really sorry. That wasn't really very wise of me.
Actually, kind of a tough
I
one.
need you to apologize.
It's
I
like,
feel bad.
it's so like sitcom. Like, why are you yelling at me? We're on the same team.
I mean, Sonic is pretty good. Like overall, it is still very strong. There was also the anime adaptation of Legend of Mana, which was pretty good. It retold like the first chapter, or actually no, it retold the entire game. And then same thing goes for Sakuna of Rice and Ruin. Like those are also very strong. But those
Nice.
are like it goes for every single story beat of the games that they come from. I think I just like Sonic more because they didn't go exactly. You know, they were allowed to do their own thing as well.
Yeah. Oh wait,
better
I'm
and for worse.
stupid. The Sonic OVA exists, and that's the best.
Oh,
video
that
game
is
adaptation.
a great movie though,
It is
and
a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that maybe soon, maybe even next week, if there's no news, we could always do like the classic Sonic movies, which
Oh,
are
I'd love to.
Search for the Chaos Emeralds and the OVA movie.
Then
Gosh, I
there's also
love the
Persona
OVA.
the animation.
That's not
Oh,
a
yeah, there've been a
Sonic
couple of
movie
those.
though. That's
No,
how
No, we're
dare
going
you.
terms
we're
of,
going games with like TV and movie.
Oh, we're back
adaptations.
on.
No, I've heard that there's some of those anime are bad. I've heard, but I've heard
Okay.
that the Persona 4 anime is good, but the remake
I've seen
it's
part
weird.
of it.
There's a Persona 4 anime, there's a Persona 4 Golden anime, and people said I think they said the Golden one is worse than
Oh,
watching
I've seen the original one.
You know what? I'm gonna just.
Cyberpunk
just
Edge
bring
Runners.
something-
Holy shit, that's right.
I want to throw another quick
sure, yeah.
honorable mention into the. I'm sure
Fallout.
someone's gonna love like Arcane as well, but I just want to throw another one into the mix here.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because no one else is ever gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. All right, here we go. I still think the 1993 Super Mario Brothers movie is a great movie. For a film geek like me, the production design and shit
Fun.
just
Yeah.
gives me a boner, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Look, I grew up with that movie. I've seen it many times. I've had to buy it multiple times whenever I lost my DVD or gave it to someone and never got it back. Sure, if you like that stuff, go for it. I would not call it a good movie.
That stuff, he
I
says.
I
we
think
should
of
do
it
an
more
off
as
track
like
on the movie.
I think of it
I
more
like
as
it.
like I think Mario fans will prefer the Illumination movies. Film fans will prefer the 90s one, I think. That's how I'd kind of put it. And
I like that that movie tends to like it obviously took the source material and or sort of like abstracted it into its
there
own
wasn't
thing,
much
which I
to
think
work
is
with
interesting.
back then, though, either. Like,
Well, no, I'm not saying this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying they did a lot with a little, and I kind of find it impressive the amount of stuff that they did
I respect
that
that.
actually does seem
Also-
cool. Like I do respect that.
also, I'm gonna say people cannot say the Mario movie from 1993 is shit because it has nothing to do with the games, and then proceed to call the Knuckles TV series good. Pick a lane.
Yeah, no. If you say that,
Sonic
your
fans
opinion
can do
on any kind of media is invalid.
Yeah, pick a
I
lane.
will never
bitch.
take you serious.
Do you want it to have stuff to do with the game or not? Like, what is it? I never said any which way. I'm just saying.
Oh shit! The Mario OVA, the
Oh yeah,
mission to rescue Princess Peach. That was kind of
it
weird.
was kind of fun. It's a
I've
little
heard
fun.
good things. I haven't seen it. I want to see it. We should do a watch party together at some point.
Oh, actually, I have a bit of trivia for you about that. There's actually a version of that on YouTube or something now, where
it's in
no, it's some people. I think there's a good version on YouTube to watch it like for real, but there's another version on YouTube where these people they basically dubbed and did a bunch of stuff like a almost like 4Kids would do, and it's like a hypothetical. What if this movie had been localized back then? And it's just like it's full of like really like conflicting vocal performances and like like different music in the background and stuff, and like they changed the plot a bunch, and it sounds
I kinda
fucking
wanna see
hilarious.
this. I kind of want to
I really-
watch
I wanna
that
see
one.
that.
Like I've seen the original one because like I needed something to do on the way to Vegas.
We can watch both.
I'd like to see the subbed version as well, just because I like seeing it in its like.
Yeah,
pure
there's an
form.
amazing
There's only a
4K
sub version,
remaster of
yeah.
it. Like, I guess they got the original film, the original reel for it or whatever, and they just, they
Yeah.
did whatever they were able to do with it, and it looks amazing.
All right, we'll move on to the next one then, Borger. And I think it's my turn. So, Mr. SP, thank you, Mr. SP, for the $20. Very generous. The wedding scene is for all the parents who didn't want to be there. Hello, fellow adults. We noticed you're starting to get bored of this thrilling adventure story, so here's 10 minutes of another movie. Enjoy.
I would accept that if it was good.
No. I think he's taking the piss out of it just as much as we are.
Oh no,
Alright.
yeah, I understand.
But I always kind of said like that scene and like by extension the Knuckles series are for the people that went to see Toy Story and said, "God, there's way too many toys in this movie. I wish there were some comedians in here."
Where's Andy in college?
Man.
Like, can we
Yeah,
cut to some
why
like?
are we cutting back to the mother at her job?
Where's the guest stars? Like, why can't she have like an "I Need a Hero" montage of Andy's mother at her job? Like, it's for that crowd. I'm like, so your target demographic for Knuckles is nobody, and your target demographic for the scene is nobody. However, I am willing to admit I am clearly out of touch in a lot of areas because I've seen numerous people seem to enjoy that scene, and I just don't get it. I don't think anything
For
about
Doug
it
Walker.
works.
He loved that scene.
What was the scene? Sorry.
I said it's for Doug Walker. He loved that scene.
I bet Doug would fucking love that scene.
Did Doug Walker review the Knuckles show?
Oh no, I was talking about the wedding scene.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh, Doug.
We'll
He
move
needs
in-
to make it into one of those movies somehow, some way.
We'll move on to
That'd
the
be
next.
so funny because he was in that Sonic fan film that one time. That
He
would be
was.
really
Oh,
funny.
yeah, he was.
He got saved by Sonic. But okay, on to
Yeah,
the next
Met Sonic.
on to the next super chat. Dylan, you're up, Borker.
Giorno, 2 Brazilian Real.
Thank you, Jono.
This is Some game movies are nice birds. Other neat fishes.
This is an Ian reference.
It's like a. Is it?
Okay.
I thought it was more of a apples and oranges kind of thing.
No,
It
this is
sounded like
because
something like,
in a
like
podcast I
a-
did with my buddy, I described IDW as being it's a bird. Like it's just like it's a thing that exists. I guess it's cool. I like birds.
Ah, okay.
So this is a reference to a thing I've said.
Okay.
Giorno,
Alright,
what have I told you
thought
about
were doing
listening?
like a Master Shifu type shit or something.
Giorno,
like,
what have I told you about listening to other podcasts? How dare you? All
Everybody,
right.
go listen to Sonic Comic Chaos.
sorry,
Anyway.
wait, is this
Do
part
not
of-
ever
oh, no, that's
listen to
like-
any other podcast. Do not ever listen to any other podcast ever.
All right, next.
Yep. Borger. Okay. Franken, you're up.
Jorno with the 10 Brazilian Royales. I'm confused on how there's a weird retcon in a franchise that only has 3 movies and a show. Like Gun's creation, Emerald scattering, Patrick Kamak being a quirky old dude when he was a killer in movies 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's easy to just write
Uh,
off the Knuckles series. And just say
Don't
none of
make it
that
canon.
really even matters.
Well, like
Um,
the gun creation, that's because like in the second movie they're like, we made this specifically because of Sonic, and then in the third movie it's like actually it always existed.
Well, I believe
Yeah,
wasn't the
I mean,
reason that it got
writing-
wasn't the reason that it got the name Gun or that it was like reformed or something, but it was already a thing that existed.
I think it's
Um,
funny about Gun. Like if you, sorry, not about Gun. If you just ignore the Knuckles series
Nichols
even
Powell.
happening, the only thing that you might ever be confused about is why Knuckles' fists are like on fire sometimes, and that's literally the only thing, the only issue.
Yeah,
And it's
which
not
you
even
could
a
just say
problem
because
because like
Knuckles
That,
is
that's
cool.
I'm
you're gonna say
okay
he
with
does
it.
that. That's just what he does.
He
Like
just
Sonic
does
says,
that, it's
Knuckles
cool.
can turn his fist to fire. He can do that.
I'll just say that's the maximum heat Knuckles attack. I'm cool with it.
yeah, he
Sure.
gained the
Yeah,
attack.
you could say that
Yeah.
out loud. Sure.
And also calling like a warrior, just say it's he's bluffing. It's not.
Well,
an actual
maybe it
warrior,
could
it's
just
some
maybe it could
goober.
just be that all that Wade and Knuckles shit happened off screen and they just made friends in that time.
Yeah, like
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
mind if he's
It's
friends with Wade. I just don't want Wade to be like heavily involved and do all the shitty writing.
I
they
just
had
don't
in
want
the
Wade.
show.
End of sentence.
All right, on to the next super chat then, Borger. So Ian, I think you're up. Borger.
Giorno for the 5 Royales. Thank you, Giorno. Imagine if they kill Tom in movie 4, just so they won't have to pay James Marsden for his pay increase after Avengers Doomsday.
I mean, he probably is gonna want
shit,
that,
I
isn't
didn't
he?
think about that.
Well, I mean,
Man.
they'd have to kill him off screen or something.
I mean, Ben Kingsley is very attached to the MCU these days as Trevor Slattery, because he's been in like Shang-Chi since Iron Man 3, as well as he's a major character in the Wonder Man series. So I don't even know if that's going to be an issue, to be honest. I mean, they got the
Oh,
money
yeah.
to fucking buy Netflix, not Netflix, Warner Brothers. So like,
Oh yeah.
I don't want to hear a
Fine.
Yeah,
damn
but
thing
how much
about
will
budget.
they give to Sonic? You have to think about it. Like, how
Yeah,
much are
give
they
it-
willing to give to Sonic for the returns?
Well, and
Ten.
again, I think they just like being on these movies. I think he'd probably be fine with less pay or whatever. Not less pay from what he's getting, but you know.
I think,
Yeah, but-
like, I mean, as it is, if it's anything to go by, the appearances are getting less and less. So come Sonic 5, he'll probably be like, "Hey, Sonic," and he just leaves.
It's the divorce papers.
He's, hey, it's my weekend next week, Sonic. See you then.
I mean, when we start seeing Tika Sumpter in it a lot, I mean, notice how before Sonic 3, before when their marriage became strained in Sonic 3, James Marsden was nowhere to be found in the
He was
Knuckles series. He was taking some time
Holy
away,
shit.
maybe.
He wasn't home. Oh, and also
He was
wasn't
banging.
helping to build the house. She had to pay someone to do that.
He was banging people while
Oh,
disguised
man.
as a dead man.
Didn't have the handyman around.
He, that's crazy.
This is a wild theory. Okay, right. And on
I'm
to the
starting to
next.
believe that they're divorced.
On to the next super chat, Borgen. So I'm up now with KB with the $9.99. Thank you, KB. I'm sure we'll have some fun once I see the Galaxy. Oh, I'm sure I'll have some fun once I see the Galaxy movie. But I kind of feel like Miyamoto doesn't understand how movies work. I'm in
he doesn't
complete
understand
agreement.
how stories work.
He
I mean,
doesn't-
Miyamoto
story-
just
It's
doesn't-
deeper than that. He does not understand movies or stories.
Like, again, without spoiling anything, the structure of that movie is, all right, we got our main plot. That now happens all off screen while we just cut to Looney Tunes-esque hijinks in a subplot and do that
I mean,
constantly. The main
I don't
quest has nothing going on.
I mean, I don't have to see the movie to be very concerned for how he approaches like stories or unique characters or anything. You just look at some of the RPG games.
I was saying to Ian a little while ago as well, though. Like, if Miyamoto is generally anti-story in the conventional sense, anyway, I don't think you can be anti-story truly, but like if he is, then pairing him up.
He prioritizes gameplay and player like enjoyment. That's
Okay,
like that's
then-
his thing. It's
well,
not
then
like
in
he's
that-
just like an asshole. Like he
Yeah,
just
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
like stories.
Yeah.
But okay, but take someone who has that kind of anti-story
he
mentality
could be an asshole.
and then pair them up with Illumination Entertainment, and then you've got a match made in storytelling hell.
I don't know
Like-
if I said this off or on the podcast, but I threw out the idea of a Wario movie directed by Hideo Kojima.
That was before we started. That's so good.
I'll do
I
you one
kind of
better.
want that.
I'll do
It
you
would
one
be
And you know
better.
what I just
so
saw?
batshit insane.
I saw that Charlie Day just said out loud somewhere, and it was recorded, that he said that Danny DeVito would be a perfect Wario.
Danny DeVito.
So now it'll
Yes.
happen, probably, which is really great.
I'm gonna say Wario movie directed by Zack Snyder.
No, of fucking course.
I would. Oh,
Jeez.
okay, listen.
That would
I
be
would
the
still wanna see
antidote
what the fuck that
to-
looks like.
A Zack Snyder film is the polar opposite of an Illumination film.
I'll
Looking
give
for
him
another
that.
fucking Snyder cut.
Yeah,
It would certainly be interesting.
I'll cut your Snyder off. All right, so the next super chat, Borgen. Dilnor.
You know, Winter Rain 1. You have no idea how hard it was for me to read that for a second. I had a lot of trouble. It was just a combination of letters I didn't like for a second. It was just what? US $5. I still think Gerald should have only had like a gun or laser beams during his end fight with Eggman, while Jim Botnick could still do what he did as a badnik. Okay, no, I
I've seen
definitely
some
see
people
where you're
express that
coming from
because like the deleted scene had them like fighting with like finger lasers, but Jim Carrey wanted to kind of improv like this nanotech fight and stuff. But I will say, like, I like the fact we got a live action Scorpion before Spider-Man Brand New Day, and
I knew you were gonna say that.
And I
fucking knew it.
also,
but I
um,
do like that little Badnik thing fight. I didn't actually think of it as like a Badnik fight, but if it
Yeah.
had been like that and it had been more obvious, like Jim Carrey's. Sorry, what am I talking? They're both Jim Carrey. If it was Eggman doing like he was being creative about it, and then Gerald was just being like die, 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 like just shooting, and it's like that's the difference between me and you. Like I have an imagination, you know, and
that's
then he
actually
kills
quite
him.
cool.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's been kind of cool.
Though what I will
know.
say is, it has also one of the funniest jokes in the movie, which is when he says, "Set up defense," and it sets up a fence. But I will say, the "damn you"
Yeah.
autocorrect line afterwards was completely unnecessary. It was funny before that point.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, it was good.
All
But
right.
yeah, cool stuff. Good
Um,
idea.
Final super chat now, and it's Franken's turn.
Winter Rain with the 2 US super chat. Konnichiwa is overhated to me. It's just a pun. Sorry, you can't have fun. Sorry.
They're
You're not
referring
allowed
to
have fun.
Konnichi. What?
Konichi, what? I agree.
mean-
that one is fine. I don't,
Yeah,
that one
I
doesn't
think
bother me.
that one's okay
Hey.
because it's just a dumb
gosh.
pun.
It
I
is a
think
dumb
it's-
pun, and I like it a
It's
little
so
bit, but it
throwaway, and I'm
also
okay with it.
my thing is that if it sounds like something a minion could say, then I kind of have a like my brain
Oh
doesn't like it as much.
no!
Why didn't he say Hachi Machi?
Also, I
Like a
noticed
minion would absolutely say that.
I
one
fucking
way
hate that.
one way I knew from the jump that Mario Galaxy was going to be worse than Mario 1 was the fact that at the Illumination intro there was way more of the minions. Like the first Mario movie
yeah.
just went straight in. Illumination logo goes up and we're kind of in. This one spends a hot minute with the minions just fucking around. But
They
there was
had
a
little
really
minion Mario Kart gag at the
I
start.
want
of
to
the
set
first
those
one.
little shits on fire.
Well, there was a really funny moment as well when in my theater screening where like the Nintendo logo comes up, but it's got a little 40th anniversary thing. It says like Mario Brothers
Yeah.
40th, and I overhear this kid say to their mum, "That's right. There's 40 Mario Brothers now, isn't there?" And I thought to myself, were kids always this full of shit? Like,
That's cute. I like that.
That's awesome. That kid is going places, man. You know, did his mother go?
I don't know, but there was this other kid a few rows away that went Yoshi every time Yoshi was on screen. I got sick of it. I felt so angry because I was like, I'm going in during school hours, so there's going to be no
assholes
kids.
You assholes and your whimsy. Fuck you.
No, but here's the
go
thing.
away!
No, but here's the
This
thing.
is my movie.
No, but in the UK, we don't like
This
when
movie's for
people.
me, not for you.
In the UK, we don't like when people talk over movies or make noises during movies. We don't like when people get up and clap. We would rather just hear the movie. So,
Shocker,
a
dude.
kid,
I don't think anybody actually likes that. There's just some fucking idiots that do it.
There's
like,
one time
as-
where getting up and clapping was appropriate, and that was Godzilla King of the Monsters when it got to the credits.
Well, I mean, actually, this is a
'Cause
surprising
that shit
thing.
got a standing ovation.
In the UK, things don't usually get applause, but the Super Mario Galaxy movie did get a little round of applause from the audience while I was in the
also,
scene, and I was just like, I've
also
never felt
Avengers
so
Endgame.
out of touch.
Avengers Endgame got. There was a
Yeah,
lot of
Avengers
movie-
Avengers
in the
Endgame
room.
was another one that kind of got like a standing ovation when it was done.
I mean,
No, right, no, okay, all right,
I-
okay,
there
but
were-
you've,
I could hear
you,
people
guys,
crying
I've been
in the
trying to
theater. It
make,
was awesome.
I've been trying to make this point for like 5 minutes. I went
Were
there
you?
during school hours, thinking I'd avoid the kids, right? Thinking this would be the
They
perfect
found
way.
you.
And little did I find out it's fucking Easter. So everyone's on holiday. So I get sat down like, oh, I'm so angry right now. Like, I was like, we're already on a bad foot.
I
Hey,
thought that was
Puck.
going to happen to me because there were 3 school buses parked outside of my theater, but they decided they didn't want to
Oh,
watch
no.
Mario.
And if you know
What?
me, you know that not only do I find kids to be an intrusion at the movies, but I loathe them. I do not like kids. I hate them. I find them annoying, irritating, loud, disgusting with how they spew and stuff. I was not in my comfort zone that entire time. So you never know. Maybe I watch Mario Galaxy at home like, oh, big thumbs up, bruv. That was great. Innit? I especially like the part where they had a video game reference in there. That was sick.
Dude, I
So,
think I was actually the only one in the theater making stupid noises because there was only like one other group of people. There were
One
like,
other
like
bastard.
a group of like 3 people aside from me, and I'm not gonna lie, when I saw the. Oh, actually, you know what? I can't talk about it. Right? Never mind.
Yeah.
I agree.
Oh my god, I remember the one time I was in a movie theater with someone, and then there was like 2 other people in there, and the person I was with joked with me like, maybe we should report them, so we were the only ones in the theater.
No, but it is always like
Like that's good-
especially
that's good.
with me, if I think I'm going to get a moment alone and then someone comes in, just my brain goes, the audacity. I fucking hate you.
Yeah, no,
You've ruined
fair.
this. Like,
Also,
even though I
um,
know that person's done nothing wrong, my brain immediately looks at them in the most
They've done everything.
uncharitable,
How dare
like,
you walk into this public
whatever,
bathroom while I'm also here. Fuck you.
whatever they're eating, I'm gonna hate it. Whatever they're thinking about, I hate it. Whatever they're wearing, I hate it. You're in my space.
busy
Dude,
Leave
it's
me.
like
crackers.
Leopard on.
If this random person has a million haters, I'm one of no haters. I'm
So
I
that
am
that
dead.
was what made me decide to up the dosage on my meds.
Good night,
so my
everybody.
biggest, my biggest problem with all of that was that, Pup, I don't think you know how to tell time.
I know how to tell time. I know how to tell time in 24-hour clock, bitch.
All right,
No,
well, what
because
time
you
is
were
it
like,
now?
oh, I was trying to say in like 5 minutes, and it was really just about a minute.
No, I've been trying 4-5 minutes. It doesn't matter. Let's just fucking move on.
I've been trying 6-7 minutes as well. Okay.
The episode is now officially over. Ian, what are you up to?
hi, I'm Ian Waffles. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube by the same name. I don't do anything but hang out here. Thank you.
Oh, what about your other cool podcast? Hmm?
Oh yeah, go watch Sonic Comic Chaos. There you go.
Oh, that sounds fun.
But
Yeah, or me
I
and my
was
buddy,
told I
my
can't.
buddy, the Silver Ace 01, talk about RG Sonic and IDW Sonic. There you go.
I was told I was not
Nice.
allowed to tune into any other podcasts. I mean, I'm
You're
not going
not.
to listen. I'll tune
He's-
into that podcast, but I was told
He's
I
broken
shouldn't.
the rules, but he's going to be fired in a few months' time. Frank, come on. You've surely got something to talk about, right? Like,
No, not really. I have been streaming this week. I was gonna try and get some videos done, but I didn't get videos done. I did get some YouTube shorts out, and one of them had to do with Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition. The other one was just making fun of DLSS 5. And I also host the At Dawn podcast.
No, you don't. You do not host any. You hosting anything, mister?
Oh, is that where this is going?
I don't know. I'm just trying to be toxic right now.
I can tell.
It's
You're
working.
doing a very good job of it.
Yay, I could stick my whole hand in my mouth.
Okay.
Wait, he won't be able to talk as much. Yeah, do it. Totally
Now
do
go
it.
on, Frank. You got more to say?
I'll probably stream something later today. Twitch.tv/gotta-be-frank.
Oh, look at me.
That's about it.
I'm streaming later. Oh. All right. Dylan. What are you doing?
Hi, I'm Dylan. So I do some streaming. I've been doing some streaming lately because the Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection came out, and it's honestly wonderful that happened. So I've been playing that a lot and trying to force my special interests on everybody who subscribed to me. And so far, I've gotten one person to buy the Legacy Collection.
Hooray!
Dylan, I
So-
don't count because I already pre-ordered it. Okay,
No,
I was already
Well, I'm
buying it.
glad you did as well. No,
Why
I'm
do you
glad
have
did
to
as
I
well.
was
take
already
everything away from him? He has a thing he's proud of, and you
wanna-
have to try and bring him back down to earth.
Shut up, pup. I was already going to throw money at Capcom.
No, there was someone who had been to the streams before and said, "Oh, I played Battle Network before, but I'd never seen Star Force, so I wanted to, join the stream and see what the gameplay was like." And I was like, "Here's no spoilers. It's like this." And I showed gameplay, and they were like, "All right, purchased." And I was like,
Hell
"Oh,
yeah.
yes." And Capcom didn't even make me do that. I just want people to buy it. It's actually doing very well in Japan. It's number 2 game
They
in Japan right now.
they underestimated how many people were actually going to want this game, and
Yeah, it's sold out a bunch.
it's sold out. It's great to hear.
It's just
I
to think
really-
it's all because Crosswords.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's all because of Battle Network selling stupid well, which I'm very, very happy about as well.
Never even heard
But
of that
it's
thing,
funny to
be
me
honest.
that
What a
Battle
dumb game.
Network does so well, and then they don't go, "We're gonna make a new Battle Network game." They go, "We're gonna make a Star Force collection, and then if Star Force does well, we'll make a new Star Force game." So it's like,
yeah. So
that's
hey,
weird. If Battle Network already did so well, what is that thought process?
If you really
Never mind.
enjoyed the Mega Man Festival or the Mega Man DLC in Sonic Racing Crossworlds, give the Star Force series a shot. It's $40.
Yeah.
It's all 7 games. I know there's 3 of them that have
Technically, you
3
play
games
3 of
with
them.
multiple
There's 7.
editions, but I guarantee you it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Is there anywhere where
Yeah,
I can
well,
get it without paying? Oh, that's the worst part of the ad.
No, buy it
No.
with money.
Buy Star Force with money as many times as you can, please. Actually, keep an eye on it because these Mega Man Legacy collections go on sale a lot. Like,
Oh yeah, they do.
Battle Network
Yeah,
collection goes on sale all the time.
like the older the collection, the cheaper they are.
Honestly, the Mega Man Legacy collections are really good. That's my thing for today. I'm streaming the Legacy collection of Star Force and support Mega Man Legacy collections. They're very good. Go play some Mega Man
For a
games.
moment, I thought you were gonna say I'm gonna stream the Mega Man Legacy collection. I was like, wait, the classic games? Oh shit, I gotta sit in on this one.
Frank, if you really want me to do that, I will. But I'm gonna be using like the baby bitch features because I can't beat those games.
Look,
I'm gonna have to at least have infinite lives and.
Can I do
I
the
will
same?
respect the
If-
fact that
I-
you're even. I will respect the fact that you're going for it. Okay.
I'd try. I'd give it a shot.
I might even do the same for Mega Man just to see what all the hubbub's about, you know?
I think you might
Okay,
like.
I'm gonna have to sit in
RPG
on
ones,
that
though,
stream, and
Pup.
Pup will probably
I
kick
think
me
you'd-
from it.
Yeah, because you're gonna be mean about
I think
it.
you might like Star Force.
You're gonna be so
It's
mean
pretty
about
easy to
it.
get
You're
into.
Well,
always
I
so-
think he's going with the classic games, which this will be fun.
I mean,
Yeah, he talked about Star Force though before.
yeah, I did. I really did.
And it's new and it's new. It's current.
I mean, yeah, it's
And
been out
people
for
are
a
liking
week.
it. It's being popular right now, so like it could be something that's interesting to check out.
All right. Yeah.
Anyway, Pup, what are you up to? You released a video recently.
I did. It's a review of the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I do be as nice as I can
The hell's
about it for
that?
someone that thinks it's a horrid movie, but like, Ian, you've seen it. I do try to be nice, right? God damn it!
Yeah,
silence is
yeah,
so
you
loud.
do try to be nice.
Yeah, I do try to be nice.
That silence is so loud right now.
But where's Ian silent? Is Ian here?
It's uncharacteristic.
I think he's
Ian
muted.
sounds-
He's
No, he's not.
muted.
Sorry, I had a phone call. My bad.
Oh, it's all
Oh.
good. It's
Oh,
all
no
good.
It was so very
I was like, oh,
important
maybe-
that you responded in this instance. My
Yeah, I don't know.
reputation was
I'm
really on the
never
line
heard
here.
of-
I was just saying, you could vouch, right, Ian? I was nice in my Mario Galaxy video despite things.
Yeah,
My
there's just crushing silence is very funny.
It's like, dude, that silence is
That's
so
what
I was
Video
loud.
seeking
But also,
validation so
It's also
badly.
10 times funnier because Ian would never I mean, like Ian would be like, "Yeah, of course." Like immediately.
Are you saying
so
Ian's
it's,
a
like, the
yes
silence
man?
was so fast.
Are you saying
No,
Ian
no, no, no.
shouldn't
I'm
be
saying Ian's a
trusted?
very nice person who tells it like it is, tells it
Oh,
real.
well, thank you.
So he, he would have been like, so it's double as funny that there was just no response.
I was like, I'm gonna fuck.
It was like not receiving a present from Santa, like Santa just goes right past your house.
Santa remembered my birthday. Ooh.
Oh jeez. Yeah, so I did a video on that. I did an April Fool's video. It's not really an April, it's not like a prank or anything, but I reviewed Sonic 4, but from the alternate dimension where it remained called Sonic the Portable and never claimed to be Sonic 4.
Oh, I like that idea.
To see what kind of like different standards it holds up against. The funny part is, yeah, even then it still kind of sucks, actually. Like, I thought I could be more charitable. And I even tried to be more charitable by saying, oh, maybe the physics are a mobile feature to make it easier for the touch controls. But then what it boiled down to was, but it's still shit, isn't it? Like, why would you ever play this?
Especially now, yeah.
There you go.
Because I kind of compared it to like other handheld Sonic titles as well. I say kind of like it serves a similar purpose to like Advance 1 or Pocket Adventure, where it's more about kind of bringing Sonic to a new kind of demographic and stuff.
It's actually a lot like Pocket Adventure when you say that, because Pocket Adventure recycled everything and just kind of had like it's like a shorter, shittier alternative to
But I
the
said
main thing it was using.
one of the key differences here is that those games had an identity in their art direction, music, just overall presentation, while Sonic the Portable just plonks Sonic Rush Sonic into like a paper green hill zone and then puts like what Mega Drive music would sound like if it were played through Jello as the music.
Yes.
Very gelatinous quality to the music. It's very wet. The music of Sonic 4 Episode 1 is very wet.
I have a pitch for this moment right now in time. I have a pitch. We don't talk about Sonic 4 anymore right now because the stream's over, and then we can talk about it another time so I can go put the pizza I want to make in the oven.
There you go.
Damn.